downtown San Rafael, everybody. CMCM's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics in association with Dominican University of California, the Pacifics, and Marin TV. This is Stuart Horn, and alongside me, my trusty sidekick, G2, for another night of Pacifics baseball. As the season winds down, the Pacifics find themselves in the cellar. In fact, for the first time in their 6 years' existence, the Pacifics are below 500, if you can imagine such a thing. Pacifics fans have a hard time imagining that very scenario. Oh, here it is. The Pacifics are 10-20 in the second half, 27-42 overall. 10-20 in the second half. Why is that significant? Well, the teams that win the first half and the second half go to the playoffs. But there'll be no playoffs for the Pacifics unless, really barring a miracle, and that's not understating the fact. In fact, if the Pacifics lose tonight, it's officially over. But for all intents and purposes, it's been over for a couple of weeks now. The Sonoma Stompers are here in the house, here at Albert Park, and are in first place by one game in the second half over the Vallejo Admirals, who are just a couple of games over the Pittsburgh Diamonds, 12 games over the Pacifics. So for the Pacifics to actually win the second half, I mentioned it would take a miracle, and it might take much more than that. But the Pacifics can only do what they can do. Takashi Miyoshi, the manager of the first place Sonoma Stompers, will be sending out Matt Hibbert to bat first, followed by Scott David, Joel Carranza, Daniel Baptista, Brennan Metzger in the 5-hole, Isaac Wenrick, Yuki Yasuda batting 7th, Derek Fox, and Matt Lococo batting 9th. Hibbert, David, Carranza, Baptista, Metzger, Wenrick, Yasuda, Fox, and Lococo. On the mound for the Stompers, Tyrell Harris. He's 3-2 and 65 2/3 innings pitched in 9 starts. He's given up 45 hits, 73 Ks against 29 walks, 17 earned runs, and a stingy little 2.33 ERA. And that's not going to be anything that the Pacifics are going to want to mess with, and yet they're going to have to. As the Pacifics take the field, we are preparing for tonight's national anthem. And on the other side of the anthem, we will have the defensive set for the home team, the San Rafael Pacifics, right here on Marin TV.
In honor of America and the brave men and women who serve our great nation at home and around the world, we present this rendition of our national anthem as performed by Bay Area soprano and San Rafael resident, Cybele Dugnerman.
Whose broad stripes and
bathroom. Sidel de Neerman, a bona fide soprano from San Rafael. And we're in downtown San Rafael, here on A Street, the home of the San Rafael Pacifics. Pacifics tonight, 10-20 in the second half against the Stompers, who are 18-12. And 10-20 is not going to get it done. The 6th year that the Pacifics have been around since their inaugural season, when the Pacifics, ran away with the championship that year, they were able to get past the Maui Nikoi Kaika in the championship series. But this year, the Pacifics are right up against the wall. They lose tonight, they are mathematically out of it. Luckily, Pacifics fans not only are willing to let the Pacifics go a year or two without actually winning it all, because they won 3 of the first 5 years they were here. They love great baseball. And the Pacifics have been great with the exception of their starting rotation, which has had nothing but a bunch of injuries right out of the gate. The starting pitcher on opening night, Patrick Conroy, injured early. And whether or not, in fact, Conroy, good old number 44, is walking right here in front of the telecast booth. At this moment, I don't know that Conroy has a lot of years left in that arm. He's hurt the shoulder again. He's been injured before. But if anybody could come back, it'd be Conroy. The Pacifics, defensively,
Time of today's first pitch, 7-11.
as
Temperature, 72 degrees.
the first pitch is heaved in there to Matt Hibbert, the center fielder, from Angel Mejia for a strike. Next, a chopper over to Herrera onto Rizzatello, and quickly Hibbert is gone. So before I could even get to the defensive set, the Pacifics have one away. Here's Scott David, his first at-bat. We're in the top of the first. Pacifics and Stompers. Demetrius Moore starts tonight in left field with Cameron Monger, the first-year man with the Pacifics, in center. Miles Williams in right. Zach Goldstein, the third baseman. Juan Herrera over at short. Phil Drek Llewellyn at second base with Michael Rizzatello at first. Ricky Gingras behind the plate. And on the mound is Angel Mejia, 1-4, a 4.69 ERA. Scott David batting .283, 3 home runs and 48 driven in. Takes a ball to open up his first at-bat. Joel Carranza is on deck. Mejia working very quickly, G2.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that first play, Stu, but the ball was chopped back to Mejia by Hibbert, and he turned around and kind of just flicked it over to first base and only got it about halfway there, and it bounced to the first baseman. A very risky throw.
David's in there 1-1. Mejia just takes an extra moment. The Pacifics must win if they want to stay alive. But just staying alive isn't putting on any kind of a run on the pennant, but you never want any game to be your last game. Line drive into right field is grabbed by Miles Williams, and Scott David hit it hard, but he's gone. And there are 2 away.
Batting third for Sonoma, designated hitter number 7, Joel Carranza.
In the 3 hole, here's Joel Carranza, the DH. Carranza has been a thorn in the side of the Pacifics for several years now. One of those guys that tends to hit the ball hard, especially when he needs to. Batting .288, Carranza takes low.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, when he hits the ball, you can hear it from a long way away.
12 bombs and 56 RBIs. Carranza just a big, imposing slugger. And Mejia again low. Couple of fastballs to open to Carranza, 2-0. Daniel Baptista batting in the 4 hole is on deck. 2 away. Carranza takes 3-0. Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics in association with Dominican University of California and the San Rafael Pacifics. There's a strike across the knees, taken all the way by Joel Carranza, 3-1. 2 down here in the top of the first, and no score. Mejia with that 4.69 ERA out of the Dominican Republic. And there's a strike across the knee. So after Mejia was behind 3-0, he's come back now to run it full. Be nice to get Carranza right here to get out of things and not waste 5 pitches. Here it is. Chopper, third base side, and foul toward the chronic cellar here at Albert Park. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to the big slugger, Joel Carranza. Mejia just 1-4 on the season, and here it is. Taken away, and he walked him. Well, there's 7 pitches down the drain. And Mejia's going to be on a very short leash tonight. Our next telecast, by the way, everybody, will be 72 hours from now. We'll be back on the air right here on Channel 30 on Friday night. The Pacifics, it's late in their season, so late, in fact, that they have finished all of their road games for the rest of the season. Here's Daniel Baptista, the left-handed batting slugger, number 44. That's Hank Aaron's old number. It's also the number of
Willie McCovey
and Patrick Conroy. Carranza takes 2-0. Well, since we were talking about Conroy before, and a lot of the fans are wondering about Conroy, where is good old number 44, the starting pitcher for the Pacifics? 2-time pitcher of the year for the Pacifics. Slash back to the screen. 2-1. Guy runs a baseball camp and drafted by the Kansas City Royals farm system. Conroy is one of those special pitchers, but he got hurt early this season. Baptista takes 3-1.
Well, and Conroy's just such a good Pacific. His parents come to every single game, and even if he's not pitching, they still come. And
no, you're right. Conroy's a huge part of the team. His whole family is. Carranza the runner at first. Baptista the batter. Here's Mejia. Across the knees, taken. And he runs it full. Consecutive batters. Full count. So Mejia's already thrown 14 pitches. And you'd like to see about 15 per inning out of your starter. And here's the payoff pitch. Slash foul, third base side and over into the parking lot out onto Anderson Drive. Baptista just fought it off. 15th pitch coming up here in the top of the first.
Yeah, a little emergency swing, just try to stay alive.
Brennan Metzger's on deck. 2 down, top of the first, no score. Mejia looks out of the corner of his eye. Carranza goes, and this is ripped up the middle, a base hit. Carranza stops at second base, and Daniel Metzger's aboard with a single, the first hit of the night. 2 on, 2 down. Brennan Metzger makes his way to the hitting area. Well, we're 17 pitches into it now. The first 2 batters, Matt Hibbert and Scott David, went down in a total of 3 pitches. Check it, 4 pitches. And things were looking pretty good for Angel Mejia out there on the mound.
So a little fact on Brennan Metzger here batting. He was drafted in the 22nd round by the San Francisco Giants.
I heard of them.
And he made it up to the Double-A level before joining the Stompers.
Metzger batting in the 5-hole, batting .316. 2 on, 2 down, very high. The catcher, Isaac Wenrick, is on deck. Metzger, the 5th batter here in the top of the first. Happy you're with us, everybody, on Marin TV. Worldwide at cmcm.tv/edu. Big curveball. Gingras wants to have a word with Mejia. I don't think he saw that coming. Almost caught him in the chin. In fact, Gingras goes out to talk to Mejia and calls in Herrera from short.
Well, Mejia looked so sharp in those first 2 batters. He was just locked in and he was throwing darts. And a guy like Carranza comes up and draws a long at bat and ends up getting the walk, and that can really just mess everything up in the inning for you.
That's true. And then he followed Baptista with a 7-pitch at bat that turned out to be a line shot up the middle in the first hit of the night.
Right, and those two guys are just so consistent for the Stompers, and they're so patient at the plate, and they always pose a threat of a home run at all times. So
Metzger ahead in the count, 2-0. Batting .316, 3 home runs, 28 RBIs. There's a fastball across the belt. 2-1. Yeah, then you have the pesky Wenrick on deck. Stompers in first place in the second half. They already wrapped up the first half long ago. And if the Stompers can win tonight, the Pacifics would be officially out of the running. There's another fastball taken 2-2. All of a sudden, after the little mound visit there from Gingras, Mejia's looking a little bit sharper, G2.
yeah, he's starting to find the strike zone. He just, couldn't find anything after those 2 walks, and walk and a single.
Metzger takes swings at a breaking ball and drives into center field. That'll score at least 1. The throw in from Monger is cut off, and Carranza scores. It's 1-0. There's the RBI, the 29th RBI for Brennan Metzger. So consecutive singles, and Mejia's got himself in trouble. Still 2 on, still 2 down. And here's Isaac Wenrick. Baptista stopped at second base. And Metzger has himself a base knock. G2, both of the singles from Baptista and Metzger, straight up the middle and hit well. Wenrick batting .275, takes in the dirt. 1-0. Yuki Yasuda, the second baseman, is on deck, but for now it's the catcher, Isaac Wenrick. Fly ball into left. Moore is there and on the run. Demetrius Moore hauls it in. A line drive to 7 is how we end it. Well, 1 run on 2 hits. And the Pacifics already are looking uphill in this must-win game. For the Pacifics, it will be Juan Herrera, followed by Demetrius Moore and Michael Rizzatello. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, here on Marin TV, we are going to send it down to Taylor Williams on the field. Take it away, Taylor.
Thanks so much, Stu. In a fast start for Angel Mejia, a pitcher for the Pacifics, he got out the first 2 batters on 5 pitches and then started to struggle. Walked a batter, gave up a single, and then another RBI single. If he wants to stay in this game for a while, he's going to have to cut those pitches down and start throwing first pitch strikes. Back to you, Stu.
Bottom of the first inning. Welcome back to Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. Yours truly, Stuart Horn. G2, my trusty sidekick. Here with Scott Calhoun's crack staff of camera people. All students in the area, some at Dominican, but everybody learning how to work a professional game. The only practice of its kind, as this is fouled back by Juan Herrera, the leadoff batter. The only association of its kind in the country where students are interning a professional program. Herrera stands in 1-1. Tyrell Harris is on the hill for the visiting Stompers. Herrera takes low 2-1. Harris, a 2.33 ERA, is a big dude, 6'4", 235, same dimensions as G2. Popped him up. Right here. Boy, this came in right over our heads. I'm happy to report nobody got hurt. We've had him popped up, G2 and I, sitting right here. G2's been with me for 3 years here on Marin TV's coverage. We've had a couple of close calls. Fastball is just away. 3-2. I'll tell you what, G2, that Tyrell Harris is a big dude.
Huge.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to stand in there and let him throw fastballs at me. Herrera's just a little guy batting .252. Stroked up the middle and a base knock. And that's how the Pacifics get started. Juan Herrera. A single up the middle, and here is Demetrius Moore. Well, that was good work all the way around. Took Harris 6 pitches, and then finished things off with a rip up the middle. Of course, Tyrell Harris was University of Tennessee, the Volunteers. 19th round draft pick, the 09 Braves. Most recently with the Cubs farm system. 2.33 ERA.
Well, and what you say about being 6'4" is he's throwing down to these batters, which is unusual.
That's absolutely right.
You know, it's just a different angle coming in than, say, somebody who's even 6 foot, let alone 5'10".
Demetrius Moore fouls it back.
You get some extra snap down on that curveball. You get a little, you know, just a different angle on a fastball as well. So.
Rizzatello's on deck. Nobody out, bottom of the first. 1-0 Stompers. A lob over to first. Herrera scurries back to the bag in plenty of time. Moore is batting .269, 21 RBIs. First-year Pacific, and he's been doing a great job defensively in left field. Slider is taken. 0-2, and very quickly, Tyrell Harris is ahead in the count. Hey, you're right. It's all about that release point. He's such a big, tall guy. And he has that wicked fastball that breaks 90 quite often. There's a breaking ball up and in. 1-2.
Well, and he just looks like an athlete. You can tell that he's just a phenomenal athlete. He could play probably any position on the field.
Yeah, you know, that's a pretty good point. A lot of these pitchers are really phenomenal athletes. You look across the league, and that is the case. There's a chopper first base side. This could be 2. Picked up by Yasuda on the front end. Backside didn't get him. So Moore is on board. A sacrifice. Herrera is out 4 to the covering 6, 1 away. And here is Michael Rizzatello. A good play there by Yasuda, the second baseman. But the chop was just a little too high and not hard enough to turn 2. 1 away. Rizzatello, the batter, at a .290 hitter, can hit for power. And he's driven in 37. Pretty fast for a first baseman, too. 8 stolen bases. There's a snap throw over to first, and Moore dives in safely. Bottom of the first inning, everybody.
Well, Rizzatello's done a good job of filling in for Brent Gillespie, who's recently left Pacifics, and he was such a great player for the Pacifics. He was always a threat at the plate as well as at first base, great defender.
Another snapper over to first, and Moore dives back in, and everybody had to take a moment to look over to Eric Thompson, our field umpire, for the signal, whether or not he was safe on the dive back in. Of course, Dean Botique, the veteran behind the plate tonight. This is low. 1-0 to Rizzatello. First baseman, Rizzatello, batting in the 3-hole with the big fella, Jake Taylor, on deck. Next pitch is skied a mile high. Derek Fox, the shortstop, backing up on it. He's calling for it. Everybody's calling for it. And Fox drops it. Brennan Metzger was coming in from left field, and now they're arguing about something. It was Metzger's ball all the way, G2, but Fox just kept following it back, and then he muffed it.
Well, Metzger, you know, he played double-A ball. He's got to call that ball off. That is the left fielder's ball all the way. That is too hard of a play for a shortstop going out into the outfield. It's so much easier for the left fielder coming in.
Well, there you go. It's all about communication, folks. And on that play, there was very little. Fox was backing up on it way off the grass into the left field area. It would have been a relatively easy play, in fact, for Metzger to come in from left. Runner goes. First pitch, snap throw down to first, head first slide, he's safe. Moore takes off and has a stolen base, his 27th on the year.
Well, you got to love that call by Kavanaugh to send the runners on that play. Now you got second and third, 2 runners in scoring position. Jake Taylor's a big RBI guy, only 1 out.
A double steal, and now Taylor has 2 in scoring position. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. Gingras on deck, popped him up, out of play. 1-1. Taylor batting an even 3 bills. 19 bombs to lead the team, 59 driven in. Base knock here gets him 2 more. Taylor going old school, stirrups, hose high, stripes on the socks. It's going early 70s. Off speed, fouled back to the screen. That was right above us. I could feel everything shake when that hit the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the big fella, Jake Taylor.
Well, even if Taylor doesn't get a hit here, it seems like he always finds a way to get the run in, whether it's a hit or not.
Be nice if the right-handed batting Taylor could go opposite field and hit behind the runners here. Moore at third, Rizzatello at second, 1 down. Bottom first, here it is. Breaking ball, got him with a funky bender. Taylor has gone the first strikeout of the night, 2 away. Woo. G2 got him with a nasty.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pitch there by Harris.
Well, Tyrell Harris waited to pull out the big curveball until he had Jake Taylor in a perfect position. And he had Taylor swinging right over the top of it. Gingras with a Herculean hack at a fastball. Gingras batting 306 behind the count. 0-1. Moore at third. Rizzatello at first. Check it. Second. The double steal. They both moved up. Gingras batting in the 5-hole has a chance to tie it here. Fastball is lifted into the gap in center. Hibbert's there. He's got it. And for a second, the fans thought we had something going. Gingras hit it hard. But Tyrell Harris wins the battle. We'll go now to the top of the second inning, everybody, in this 1-0 ball game. And the Pacifics need to win this game if they want to stay alive in the conference. Batting for Takashi Miyoshi's Stompers here in the top of the second, it will be the 7-8-9 batters in Yuki Yasuda, Derek Fox, and Matt Lococo. We're so happy to be with you here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll send it down to the field now to Aziz and Tressa.
اهلا بكم جميعا. اسمي عزيز، انا من قناه مارين تي في. اهلا بكم في يوم جديد، مباراه جديده، جو حماسي، مباراه صعبه. نتمنى التوفيق لفريق الباسيفيكس. نرجو عدم الهزيمه من المباراه الثالثه على التوالي. نتمنى لهم الحظ الاوفر. اعود اليكم.
So the Pacifics try to get back that run that Sonoma scored, including a spectacular steal of third by Demetrius Moore, but unfortunately a fly out to center could ended all that inning. So the Pacifics go back out again to Angel Mejia pitching. Hopefully he will not try to pitch out to full counts, and we'll try it for a 1-2-3 inning. Back to you, Stu.
Top 2. Yuki Yasuda will lead things off for the Stompers. It's a 1-0 ball game, everybody. Yasuda takes 1-0. Angel Mejia, the big right-hander, is still on the hill. Yasuda takes outside black, 1-1. Good pitch there out of Mejia, that 4.69 ERA. Gave up 1 in the top of the first. We're top 2 now. Yasuda takes up and away, 2-1.
Well, Yasuda's really got that unorthodox batting stance. He shifts his weight all the way back onto that back foot. and he's only standing on 1 foot when the pitch is delivered.
As he bends down and shifts his weight. The one-footed stance taken for a strike, and he's not going to see anything better than that from Mejia unless Mejia makes a huge mistake. San Rafael Pacifics, once again the 2017 Pacifics. Mejia deals a curveball, chopped toward first. Rizzatello takes it to the bag, 3 unassisted, 1 away.
Nice job by Mejia coming back from the 3-1 count to get that out.
Shortstop, number 15, Derek Fox.
Derek Fox will bat in the 8-hole. Mejia, G2, would love to get out of here 1-2-3. He got the first 2 batters in the top of the first inning, but then he couldn't finish the deal. There's a fastball, a little low. Fox batting .284, and he'll be followed by Matt Lococo. His shortstop is Fox, and there's a breaking ball taken. Just a perfecto 1-1. Oh, what a beautiful pitch, G2.
Yeah, nice work there. He looks a little bit more confident this inning.
And the Mejia deals, and Fox takes, although I was looking at the monitor as Mejia works very quickly. This is chopped up the middle. Back to Mejia. Over to Rizzatello. 2 down.
Well, he just stuck the glove up, said, look what I found.
Yeah.
Got a nice little out.
Batting for the Stompers,
2 defensive plays already
number 3,
by Mejia, and here's Matt Lococo, the 9-hole hitter for the Sonoma Stompers. Stompers are 18-12 in the second half, and in first place in the second half.
Well, and 18-12 is almost a disappointment for them because their first half was just unreal.
The Stompers beat everybody in the first half pretty handily, and once you win the first half, you're assured of a spot in the playoffs if there is a playoff. But if the Stompers can win the second half, there will be no playoff series. They will be the champs, and that is that. Up and away, and Lococo takes 2-1.
Right.
So in the years that the Pacifics have won the ring, they've done it both ways. They've had to play the championship series, and they've won it outright in the dirt, 2-2.
Right, that walk-off was the championship game. They had that great walk-off in the rain by Danny Gonzalez. That was just such a great game to watch, and just Pacifics have been so great for these past 5 years, and they're looking to turn it around.
Of course, the Stompers are the champs of the league from 2016 as Lococo walks, and Mejia, G2, has a propensity of getting the first 2 guys and then struggling. Go back to the first inning. He got Hibbert, he got David, then he walked Carranza, who ended up coming all the way around. On the RBI by Metzger. So it would be nice if Mejia could break that way of working as he snaps throw over to first in the dirt, scooped up by Rizzatello, and Lococo's back in safely. But getting the first 2 guys is not finishing the deal. Here's Matt Hibbert, the leadoff batter. Hibbert 0 for 1 on the night with the ground ball back to Mejia to start off the game. Breaking ball is up and in. 1-0. Scott David is on deck. 2 down here in the top of the second inning. A long way to go. San Rafael in 4th place in a long fly ball. And Hibbert is gone as he knocks it out into center field. And it's tracked down by Cameron Monger. Well, 4 batters is a whole lot better than 6 batters as we go to the bottom of the second inning. The score remains 1-0. The Pacifics will be sending up Phildrek Llewellyn, Cameron Monger, and Miles Williams. We will be sending you to the field to hear from our own Taylor Williams right now.
On your mark, Get set, go!
He has a better inning this time, most definitely. He gets the first two guys out, then walks the guy, but gets it out. Makes quicker work of this inning than the last. The 6, 7, 8 hitters are coming up for the Pacifics. Let's score some runs on the board.
Welcome back, Tom.
Bottom two. Score remains 1-0 on Marin TV. Tyrell Harris still out on the hill, as you can imagine. He would be, having gotten through the Pacifics in the bottom of the first. Phildrek Llewellyn drives one up the middle for a base hit. The third hit of the night. And here comes Cameron Monger.
Well, newly acquired Phildrek Llewellyn, he's done a great job since coming to the Pacifics. This is only his 7th game. Batting average well over 350, and he's driven in a couple of runs, had a big home run in our last telecast. Great first impression.
You know, our last time here, last Thursday night, between Thursday and Friday night, the Pacifics scored 25 runs in those two games. And then the subsequent two games, Saturday and Sunday, they scored a total of 2 runs. Hard to win when you're only scoring 1 run a game.
Right, why can't you just stretch out all those big scoring games over a couple, you know?
The night we were here, it was 16-2, I believe, was the final. That was last Thursday night, and they scored 9 the next night. Monger takes a strike. 0-1. Miles Williams on deck, a snap throw over to first. Harris on the mound is throwing hard and mixing his pitches nicely. Absolutely has established command up there. Monger, 5 bombs, 19 driven in. He's got Llewellyn, the runner at first. Another snapper over there. And you're right, I've been totally impressed with Llewellyn, the second baseman for the San Rafaels. He seems a very clutch player so far.
It just seems like he does a little bit of everything. He plays defense, he can run, he can hit, he can throw.
Monger takes in the dirt. 1-1. You know, it's interesting that the Stompers have averaged against the Pacifics this year 8.2 runs per game. That's a big hole to climb out of. Pacifics over the weekend only scored 1 run in each of their 2 games against Vallejo. They were swept. Check it, just the Saturday-Sunday games. That did not include the Friday game. Friday game, they actually scored 9. But 1 run a game, you're not going to get too far against a team that scores 8.2 runs against you, is my point. 1-2, Monger, batting .252. 1 on and nobody out, bottom of the second inning here in downtown San Rafael. A nice night, 71 degrees at first pitch. It's cooled off a little bit now that the sun's gone down. It's either that or an eclipse, but I don't think an eclipse was on the books for tonight. I think the sun has simply gone down behind Mount Tam. Here's the next pitch. Big curveball and taken by Monger. He's got that nasty curveball, the same one that he got Jake Taylor with back in the first G2. But Monger didn't offer. Harris has only thrown it twice, and that was the second time right there. Some kids are here. Usually they're running around with pizza and a baseball. But there's some kids here running around with rolls of toilet paper as Monger goes down swinging. 1 away. I don't know if you want to call that a swing. He was so far off balance. Monger's going to see that, and he might say to himself, G2, I was not very well balanced when I turned on that breaking ball. Here's Miles Williams. Williams batting .258. 48 driven in. Snap throw over to first, and it gets away from Baptista. Llewellyn will run down to second, and now he's on his way to third. The throw over to third is not in time. The ball was loose, rattling around by the Pacific's bullpen. But Baptista couldn't do anything with it. And Llewellyn, with some heads-up base running, gets all the way over to third base on a terrible chuck to first by Harris. Baptista couldn't hold on to it at first. And then he was booting it around over there at the base of the fence. just this side of the Pacific's bullpen, G2.
Right, Llewellyn did the same thing in our last telecast. He reached on an error, and the ball ended up getting away, and he ran all the way over to third base.
The second error of the night committed by the Stompers. There's a fastball to Williams, 1 strike on him.
Right, and that's such a big play with less than 2 outs. You have a runner on third base. All you need to do is hit a fly ball, and he scores.
Nothing like little sacrifice time. Big curveball, and this gets away from Wenrick, but it stayed close enough to the plate that Llewellyn could not come in from third base. There's a ton of room behind the catcher here at Albert Park, approximately 60 feet, in fact. So when a ball gets by the catcher, usually runners are kicking it into high gear. There's a fastball swung on and missed by Williams, 1-2.
Right, Pacifics need to capitalize on this runner on scoring position, less than 2 outs here. First inning, they didn't do it, and against these Stompers, as good as they are, you have to capitalize on every opportunity.
Zach Goldstein is on deck. Very well said. Williams stands in behind in the count, 1-2. Change up in the dirt. A one-handed, some sort of a one-handed move toward the ball. I hesitate to call it a swing, G2.
Well, Harris has done a great job of mixing up those pitches tonight. He has that fastball working great, and he's just throwing that at over 90 miles per hour, and he comes in with a curveball or a changeup, and these guys are so off balance when that comes in.
That's the first serious changeup he's thrown tonight. So he waited for a perfect time to do it with a runner at third base and Williams behind in the count, 1-2. Here's Goldstein, who's been great for the Pacifics. Goldstein has been one of the third basemen the Pacifics have had over the years that you would love to have. Any team would love to have a guy like Zach. 258 hitter who takes a ball with Herrera on deck. Well, now there are 2 outs, and can Goldstein get Llewellyn in? The Pacifics got a 180-foot break on the throw over to first that allowed him 2 bases. This is popped up. Derek Fox, the shortstop, is there. He gives way to Scott David, the third baseman. And Zach Goldstein, with a pop-up to 5, ends it. G2, the Pacifics can't get a break. They get one little break, which could have been a huge break, in 180 feet on the throw over to first that gets away and allows Llewellyn to go all the way over to third base. But then the subsequent 3 batters in a row could not manage to get it done. You're watching Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics in association with Marin TV and Dominican University of California. We're here at Albert Park, and we'll send it down to the field now to Aziz and Tressa.
Well done.
Hey everyone. اهلا انا عزيز اعود اليكم من قناه مارين تي في. الان في الشوط بدايه الشوط نهايه الشوط الثاني. مباراه ليست كما هي. المستوى لم يكن بالمستوى المطلوب، ولكن نتمنى لهم اوفر الحظ. ما زالت النتيجه 1-0 لفريق الستامبرز، ولكن نتمنى حظهم حظ اوفر.
Once again, this inning is close but no cigar. A single by Phildrick Llewellyn led him to go to third on an error by pitcher Tyrell Harris, but so far that's all the only action Pacifics had that inning. So once again, it is 1-0. It's coming back up with Pacifics on defense, and we'll just have to see. Back to you, Stu.
It's a 1-0 ball game. San Rafael Pacifics against the Sonoma Stompers. Scott David will lead things off and takes a ball. He'll be followed by Joel Carranza and Daniel Baptista here in the top of the third. A 1-0 ball game as Scott David runs up to bunt. It goes foul, and now it's 1-1. And I'm happy to welcome into the opulent telecast booth my trusty sidekick, Tressa Furry.
Hello.
Hi. You did a beautiful job there. There she is, everybody. She did a great job on the sideline reporting.
Oh,
and now
you.
she's up here working the booth. There's a chopper towards second. Llewellyn dives for it, and he can't get to it. And there's a base hit for Scott David into right field. And that's how we start the third. Joel Carranza will make his way out to the hitting area. Carranza walked back in the first inning
Now batting for the
and then was
Stompers,
knocked in
designated hitter Joel Carranza.
by Brennan Metzger. So Carranza, always a threat, officially 0 for tonight, is batting .288, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Carranza, followed by Baptista. Top of the third inning. Moore, Monger, and Williams, the outfielders for the Pacifics. Playing shallow tonight is Moore out in left field. Carranza, 1-1. Goldstein and Rizzatello at the corners. There's a chopper, third base line, and foul. 1-2.
Well, Carranza's at bat was the first of the beginning of a struggle for Mejia because he got the first 2 batters out, but all it took was a walk for him to kind of lose control until he got to Weinrich.
You're absolutely right. Carranza takes a big curve ball. I don't know where it missed, but a little bit high, I guess, 2-2. Herrera and Llewellyn are playing medium deep in anticipation perhaps of a ground ball and a shot at a double play, a big breaking ball, and Joel Carranza swings over the top of it, and he's gone. 1 away. Anytime, Tressa, anytime you can strike out Joel Carranza, you're doing something right. And here's Daniel Baptista.
Now batting for the Stompers.
Another hitter you got to worry about because he had a single in the last inning, so he's nothing to sleep on either.
You're right. Baptista stranded at second base after his knock up the middle. Batting in the 4-hole, batting .283. Pacifics are 12-27 on the road, so they're awfully happy to get home. They have not been good on the road. Sonoma starts 9 games on the road tonight. Their final 9. And there's a fastball up and away. 2-0. Sonoma and Vallejo, who are in first and second place, separated by only a game, will play 3 this weekend, and it may very well determine the outcome of the second half of this season. Very high, and Baptista takes 3-0, and all of a sudden, Angel Mejia is releasing the ball very early. He's going to have to hang on to the ball for a little longer, Tressa. Brennan Metzger is on deck. There's a fastball across the belt. Baptista taking all the way, 3-1. Friday night we'll be back on television. And then next Tuesday, and we'll wrap up the season for us here at Marin TV. Another great season of televised baseball. Thanks to the Pacifics, thanks to Marin TV, and thanks to Dominican University of California. Baptista walks, and that moves Scott David down to second base, still just 1 out.
Now batting for Sonoma.
Of course, the students participating, like Tressa and Taylor and Aziz and a couple of high school students, Forrest Hunt. These are all Dominican communications people, where our chair is Mari Pileggi, yours truly, Stuart Horn, communications professor. How great is it that we're out here, Tressa? Is this great experience for you guys or what?
Incredible. This is pretty much a dream come true for me. Sports broadcasting is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
So couldn't be better.
The only program like this where students can come and work with a professional team at this level. Brennan Metzger, the hitter. Just 1 down, 2 on. We're in the third. Slider taken. 1 strike on him. Isaac Wenrick is on deck. Metzger is batting .316. 29 driven in. He picked up his 29th RBI when he knocked in Joel Carranza back in the first inning, and that's where we are, 1-0 Stompers. Check swing, foul first base side toward the Budweiser dugout club on the first base side. 2 strikes on him, still just 1 away. Seems like Mejia starts each inning strong and then can't stand the prosperity. Innings 1 and 2, he got the first 2 batters. And here in the third, while he gave up a single to the leadoff batter, Scott David, he was then able to K Carranza, which is no easy feat. A breaking ball is in the dirt, taken by Metzger, and blocked by Gingras. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And along with that, Mejia had 26 pitches in the first inning, and then he was up to 41 in the second. So he's definitely the Stompers are making him work, to say the least.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was only, I think it was 5 pitches through the first 2 batters in the first, and then it ended up being, what did you say, 26?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot. When you go 2 batters in 6 pitches or 5 pitches, and then the rest of them, and then you go on and on and on. And now there's strike 3 called to Metzger, and Mejia.
That is another K for kids.
Mejia had to argue with Dean Boutique behind the plate. It looks like Boutique lost the count for a moment and thought, in fact, Metzger was still alive. We had the count at 1 and 2. At any rate, Metzger goes down looking at a breaking ball, and here's Isaac Wenrick. Well, that could change things substantially. Mejia out there on the mound, Gingras the catcher, Isaac Wenrick the hitter. 0 for 1 on the night. A line drive to Demetrius Moore in left field ended the first inning. Fastball is very high. 1-0. Wenrick batting .275 coming in tonight. He's got Yuki Yasuda on deck. We're in the top of the third inning where the Pacifics trail 1-0. Mejia deals high, 2-0. We were pretty good luck, I think, Marin TV's coverage of the Pacifics. We were pretty good luck last Thursday night when the Pittsburgh Diamonds were here, and Thursday night when the Pacifics scored 16 runs to just 2 for the Diamonds, popped him up third base line, and it's foul.
Good times, Stu. Good times.
Well, you must agree that the broadcasts, while they're fun either way, they're a lot more fun when the Pacifics score a lot of runs and win the game. I think you would agree with me there.
I would agree with you.
They're no less educational when the Pacifics lose, but it's really fun when they win. I've been with the team now. This is my 6th year. The first 3 on radio, as Wenrick takes 3-1, and the last 3 on television. And the Pacifics are just my team.
And he's even got a ring to prove it.
And I've even got the ring from 2014 to prove it. Pacifics were good enough that year to order me a ring at the end of the season when the Pacifics won it all. In fact, at the start of the season, Mike Shapiro said, "You've been with us since day 1, Stu. If we win it all this year, you get a ring." And they did, and I did, and I still have it, and it's great. And I was showing it off to the crew last time I was here. I don't bust it out very often. God forbid I lose that thing. I only get to wear it a couple times a year, always on opening night. And then if the Pacifics have a chance to win it all, I like to bust it out then. And Wenrick swings at a fastball, and Mejia pounds his own chest and points to the Angels. So 3 strikeouts, a run and a walk, and the Sonomas leave 2. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning now, and it will be Juan Herrera, Demetrius Moore, and Michael Rizzatello. Bottom 3, 1-0. Pacifics trail on Marin TV. We'll send it down to the field now, and here is Taylor Williams.
Thank you, Stu. So pitcher Angel Mejia led off with a single and then What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up?
How do you think your pitcher did riding the ship right there after the leadoff single?
I mean, he did what he did.
Yeah.
Struck out the side.
That's what he's got to do, man, right?
Hey, when you get in trouble, you got to get out of trouble.
Got to put in the work for you guys.
He did.
All right, I'll see you later, buddy. God, isn't he a stud, Demetrius Moore? Anyways, I was saying, pitcher Angel Mejia gave up the leadoff single and then came back and struck out the side. Back to you guys.
1-0 Stompers. Juan Herrera will lead things off. Tressa Ferry to my right. Yours truly, Stuart Horn on Marin TV. Once again, a beautiful night for baseball, and it's just a little windier than it's been the last couple of games we've done. Just a slight breeze. The prevailing wind here at Albert Park blowing over the left field wall. Herrera takes in the dirt. Tyrell Harris continues to throw hard. There's a chopper third base side, and Matt Cavanaugh had it come off his bare hand in the third base coach's box. It'll be Herrera followed by Moore and Rizzatello here in the third. 1-0. Another fastball in the dirt. Harris behind in the count, 2-1. Herrera ahead in the count, 2-1. Batting .252. Oh, and he slashes a line drive right back at Harris, who knocks it down and stays with it. Underhands to Baptiste at first, and Herrera is gone. 1-3. And that was a lookout time. I heard the ball hit the bat, and then I heard it hit the glove of Harris, Tressa, but it could have just as easily hit him in the face.
That's what I was thinking. Good heads-up play by Harris, not just for getting it to first, but protecting his head and not getting a concussion.
Every once in a while, the pitcher takes a six-pack right in the face, borrowing a term from volleyball. When it's an unobstructed shot to the mug, there's nothing nice about that. Demetrius Moore stands in. A fastball is slash foul first base side toward Jane's first base cafe. 1 strike on him. 1 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Fastball is swung on. Moore right over the top of it. Behind in the count, 0-2. Tyrell Harris, a 2.33 ERA. Great big dude, 6'4", 235. Moore takes high. 1-2. It's always a good idea when you get ahead of a batter, 0-2, to throw something in there to see if he'll swing at it. And it's not even near the strike zone, because every once in a while, batters will do that. They will swing at it, and they're more likely to swing at a high, hard one. Moore takes a breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2. Michael Rizzatello is on deck. Moore reached base back in the first inning, a sacrifice where Juan Herrera was thrown out, but it was not sharply hit enough to turn a double play. And he takes. And the count is now full. And for just the second time tonight, Tyrell Harris has run it full. Here's the 3-2. Got him looking. Moore took a couple steps back toward first base. But I think Moore was also taking a step, Tressa, toward the dugout, because somewhere in his heart of hearts he knew that was a perfect pitch on the outside part of the plate, right at the knees, and he's gone looking. 2 down. What a sweet pitch. Here's Rizzatello. Fastball taken. And from our angle, it looked perfect. But it was called a ball. Jake Taylor, the big fella's on deck. Bottom 3, 1-0. Pacific's trail. Fly ball center field. Hibbert's back to his right. He circles. He's got it. And the Pacifics go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the third.
All right, fans, it's time for the Garen's Auto Body YMCA Dance Along.
After 3 complete, 1 run on 3 hits and a pair of errors for the visiting Stompers. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for San Rafael. We go to the top of the 4th inning, where it will be Yuki Yasuda, Derek Fox, and Matt Lococo, the 7, 8, 9 batters for the visiting Stompers. The first place Stompers, yours truly, Stuart Horn. She's Tressa Furry. We'll send it down to the field now.
اهلا جميعا، انا عزيز عليكم من قناه مارين تي في. المباراه ليست حماسيه للدرجه المطلوبه. الشوط لا يزال 1-0 للستامبرز ضد فريق باسيفيكس. اتمنى لهم الحظ الاوفر واتمنى المزيد من الحماس.
Thanks, Aziz. The Pacifics were retired 1-2-3 in order on a line drive back to the pitcher and a strikeout and a fly ball to center field. I'm Graham Gillis. This is Pacifics Baseball on Marin TV. Thank you.
Yuki Yasuda will lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning. It's been just a great pitcher's duel so far. Angel Mejia for the San Rafaels, a 4.69 ERA against the big guy, Tyrell Harris, with a 2.33. Yasuda's in there 1-1.
Yeah, for as many pitches as Mejia's thrown, he's only given up 1 run, so that's a good testament to how he's pitching right now.
Yasuda, Fox, and Lococo, the 7, 8, 9 batters. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Yasuda ahead in the count 2-1. Now it's 3-1. Mejia works as quickly as any pitcher in the league. And I don't think it'd be a stretch to say he works faster than anyone in the league. There's a fastball across the knees. Yasuda had just started thinking about the pitch before. And now it's full. And the one thing about Mejia is he's gone full to 6 batters so far tonight. Here it is. Yasuda takes strike 3 called.
And a big strikeout for Mejia.
One more K for kids.
I would agree with that assessment. It was a huge strikeout. Yasuda is a good hitter and a guy who, once he gets on base, is likely to run. But he didn't get on base, so he can't run. Here's Derek Fox with 1 away. Top of the 4th, everybody. Fastball across the belt, taken, strike 1. Lococo on deck, 1 away, top 4. Mejia just working at a blistering pace. Very high check swing, taken, 1-1. Fox is 0 for 1 on the night. Grounded it back to Mejia back in the 2nd inning. Right now we're in the 4th. Mejia comes home. A slider is taken, 2-1. Fox is batting .284, 1 bomb and 9 RBIs. Fastball is away. 3-1. Dean Botique. Botique, the veteran umpire behind home plate. Eric Thompson is in the field. And that's across the knees and taken. And once again, Mejia goes full. So with the exception of the high pitch count, Mejia's looking pretty good tonight. There's a line shot up the middle, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Monger in center field throws it in quickly. And Fox is aboard for the first time tonight.
I was thinking that assessment reminds me of Johnny Cueto, a very dominant pitcher, a very good pitcher, but he will run his pitch count very high. So a workhorse, as they say.
Well, some guys feel more comfortable working the batters, getting them molded in just the right place before they set them up and knock them down. Here's Matt Lococo, 9-hole hitter. Walked back in the 2nd inning, stranded at first. And a snap throw over to first. Ooh, and Derek Fox was almost caught leaning off the bag. Mejia, a right-handed pitcher, has to look the runner back out of the left corner of his left eye. And another snap throw over. Oh, almost a perfect throw. And once again, Derek Fox scurries back to the bag. Lococo batting .208. Holds the hands very high, and a fastball is up and away. 1-0. Hibbert's on deck. We're in the fourth. Here at Albert Park. He squares the bunt and takes indoors. But he pulls up for a called ball 2. Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics, our third year on Marin TV. Taken for a strike. And it's been a good run. Scott Calhoun and his crew of dedicated camera people bringing you these pictures. Tressa to my right, communications student at Dominican, snapped her over to first base. A Dominican communication students getting to work with the San Rafael Pacifics, calling professional baseball. It's a great part of the program put in place by Brad Van Alstyne 6 years ago. Strike called. A fastball is taken. 3-1 now to Matt Lococo. Of course, back in 2012, the students only worked with me on radio. They called 45 home games that year. Brian Sanchez was with me every single game. Next pitch is a slider taken, and now it's full.
I wouldn't mind calling 45 games.
You know, you do 45 games in a season where they play 45 home games in a 3-month period. So 45 home, 45 away. And that year included a championship series against the Maui Nikoi Kaika. And you learn a lot, I'll tell you. It's a great experience. Next pitch is fouled out on an Anderson drive. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And then year number 2, for those who've been listening to the Pacifics for a long time, the great Bruce McGowan, who's a sportscasting legend here in the Bay Area, he and I covered the Pacifics that year. Radio only. Of course, this is before CMCM. Next pitch, the full count, first base side. Snapped over to Rizzatello. He steps on the bag, and a wild throw over to second, and it's called foul by home plate umpire Dean Botique. And I think that's the right play, as Rizzatello had to reach over the bag to grab it, as Rizzatello right now is arguing the call. But it would have been a double play. But instead, it's just a dramatic out. Lococo back, and the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Then in year 3, Vinny Longo came aboard, and Vinny and I handled the radio for that year. And then the last 3 years, I've been strictly with Marin TV. And he got him with a high, hard one. 2 down. Great pitch by Mejia. He took a chance, Tressa, to go upstairs. But he threw a high 80s two-seamer and got him. And here's Matt Hibbert.
Now batting for the Stompers, number
And I like the radio side a lot. But I'll tell you, I really like working with CMCM and the TV piece. It's all really good for the students, though, whether it's radio or it's TV. And their guy on radio now is Greg Mraz, and he does a superb job on radio. Good old Greg. He does not only home, so he does 45 home games. He also does all the away games. There's about 45 of those, too, which makes sense. 1 ball to Hibbert, who's 0 for 2 on the night, a ground ball and a fly ball. Scott David is on deck, but there are 2 away. 1-0 ball game. And Mraz, his first year with the team, has been just doing a great work. And now the Pacifics are home, and they're going to stay at home. This is the first of the last 9 games of the season for the San Rafaels, all of which will be at home. This is fouled right below us, a sharp line drive that came right over to us and almost got Tressa and I.
Almost got our other colleague Taylor, he's doing the very close sign.
You can see us there. There, I'm waving my hand in the top part of the screen, and that hit right below us where you can see G2 sitting there in his blue shirt, and that must have hit just inches above G2's head because it was just a hard line drive as it came in and almost got him. That was something. 2-2 to Hibbert. Well, when you come out here, folks, you got to keep an eye out because you never know where the ball's going to go. And when it's coming at you, it's usually coming very quickly. 2-2, 2 down. Mejia comes home, breaking ball in the dirt. Gingras gets in front of it. And now, Tressa, once again.
Another full count.
It's another full count. Well, Mejia has been doing it the hard way, but he's been getting it done. And he's got 2 strikeouts already this inning. Yasuda looking, Lococo swinging, and here it is. Fly ball, left field. Back is Moore at the wall. He's got it. Hibbert goes down. The long fly ball, a very scary long fly ball. Got it up in the wind and let it ride, but just missed it enough. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning now, and for the Pacifics, Jake Taylor will lead things on.
Thank you, Stu. Pitcher Angel Mejia has another solid half inning, only allowing 1 base hit. Well, getting 1 strikeout and a couple other outs on the side. A long fly ball down the center field. But overall, looking sharp after that first inning in which he gave up a run. The game is now going into the 4th inning, and it's going to be a long night. I almost got hit by a ball. Back to you guys.
Down to 3. And the replacement chair. And here's our 2 finalists. And there's your winner. Thanks to all of our participants. Our winner gets a certificate to the Sweet Spot.
Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the 4th inning, and the score remains 1-0. The big fella, Jake Taylor, is at the plate. And the other big fella is Mike Shapiro, general manager, one of the owners of the team. And he's here alongside. There he is, to my right, the other big fella. Mike, it's great to have you here in the CMCM broadcast booth.
Stu, a pleasure to be here.
Well, Jake Taylor's up again, and Taylor, who's up ahead in the count 2-0 with Gingras on deck and Llewellyn in the hole. How about this, Taylor? He has been such a good get a couple years ago, and he's just been hitting the ball all over the place, batting .300 coming into tonight's action. This is fouled back to the screen when it's 2-1. Talk about Taylor for a moment.
Well, a couple of things people don't know about Jake. Last year, which he had another monster year last year, but he also did it on a thumb that needed off-season surgery. And he spent the entire season here hitting a lot of home runs, getting a lot of big hits for us, and playing third base, but with a very, very sore thumb.
2-1 is upstairs. Now it's 3-1.
And this year he's been suffering from a shoulder injury, which has kept him from playing too much defense, but he's still swinging the bat really well.
I'll say 19 bombs, 59 driven in. He's just been great. He was sure great in that 16-2 win Thursday night. Here's a 3-1 slashed into the gap in right center, and that gets down another base hit, just as Mike was saying. Taylor's aboard with a single. Ricky Gingras is coming up against Tyrell Harris with that 2.33 ERA. Mike, Harris is a big dude out there and an imposing figure on the mound.
Well, Tyrell Harris was a guy we tried to get during the offseason. He lives up in Santa Rosa area. Matt Cavanaugh has known him from other levels of minor league baseball. We tried to get him. Sonoma made him a better offer, I guess, and he's doing exactly what everybody thought he would do, dominate.
2.33, Gingras stands in, batting .306 and fouls one out onto Anderson Drive. Mike, I think that's the 1 millionth ball fouled onto Anderson Drive in the history of the Pacifics. That one right there.
And they're $4.50 each. I can tell you exactly how much money.
That's let's see, that's $4,150,000. Gingras stands in and takes a big breaking ball. Speaking of breaking ball, Harris has thrown 2 massive curve balls tonight. One was to get Taylor, and one was to get Monger. And it's a good pitch to keep once you get one of those big hitters, 2 strikes on him, and then pull out that big bender. He's thrown it twice tonight, and it's just nasty.
Yeah, it's got a lot of late, hard break. And the great thing about that pitch, the way Tyrell uses it, is it's always planted in the hitter's mind, and they don't quite know when he's going to bring it out.
He's also got a pretty nasty changeup that he's shown once or twice tonight. He's been locating, he's established command, but he's really mixed up his pitches tonight at a professional level in the dirt, and this is going to get by Wenrick, and trotting down to second is Jake Taylor.
And just another little inside note, while the Stompers were on their way down this evening from Sonoma, Wenrick and a couple of the other players were involved in a fender bender.
No.
They got rear-ended, and Isaac came up to me before the game and said, geez, is there a chiropractor or somebody around? And I, what little legal advice I could give him, told him, don't let anybody touch you until this gets sort of resolved. But fortunately, nobody was hurt badly, but they're going to have some whiplash in the morning.
2-2 to Gingras. Swung on and missed, and Gingras heads back 1 away. Well, you said what little legal advice you could give him, but you are a lawyer by trade.
Yeah, but I'm not a personal injury lawyer.
No, but I would still, I would think, at least in these parts, you're probably the best we have. Here's Phildrek Llewellyn. Now, Llewellyn is a new get for the Pacifics, but man, what a good get. It's just too bad we're having this kind of season, one of those seasons. He's been great, hasn't he?
Well, Phildrek came on some great recommendations, some scouting reports that we got. He led the Pecos League in hitting. He was MVP of the Pecos League this year, and none of the other higher independent leagues signed him.
Big high breaking ball is taken as Llewellyn runs up in the box for a ball. Only 26 at-bats, including his base knock in the second.
And he's somebody that we would, love to have around for next year too. And I should say that that's a lot of what this is about now.
And what do you mean by that? Is this is fouled out $4.15 on Anderson Drive?
This is an opportunity when you're pretty much out of it to take a look at some players, for some players for next year. Give them a rehearsal. We picked up 2 new pitchers. We've got a second baseman, Yulandi, that we're taking a look at. Phildrek taking a look at. So, this gives us an opportunity to see what we got for next year.
1-1 to Llewellyn is fouled back to the screen. He really made a motion there, Mike, after he swung at it, like, gosh, that was the one to hit. And Llewellyn seems like one of those guys. He's just brimming with confidence.
Well, and he's really a very solid on his fundamentals, both sides of the plate. He's a switch hitter. I thought initially he was a left-handed hitter. I saw some footage on him, some scouting footage showing him swing right-handed. Then I saw some left-handed. Every place he's listed as a right-handed hitter. And so I wound up getting a switch hitter.
Yeah, well, last Thursday when the Pacifics won 16-2 over the Diamonds, he had a home run hitting left-handed over the left field wall. So he went opposite with power.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty complete player. Also, if you'll note, he's played third base, he's played second base, he's played first base, pretty much any position. He's also by nature a catcher. So
did not know that.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty accomplished ball player. From Curacao, speaks 5 different languages. He's just a really interesting, solid, fundamental player.
How is he in the clubhouse? Swings at a big bender. There's that nasty curveball that Harris holds until he needs it. And he's only thrown it 3 times tonight, and all 3 times with 2 strikes on the hitter, and Llewellyn goes down swinging, 2 down. Jake Taylor still at second base, and here's Cameron Monger. I want to hear about Monger now. His first year with the Pacifics, he had to fill the shoes, the biggest shoes ever, of Zach Pace out in center field, and he's been doing a great job.
Well, he has done a great job, and he's been a real delight to have around the clubhouse. if for no other reason, he's a dead ringer for Colin Allen.
Yeah, you're right. For those of you who don't remember Colin Allen from the 2014 Pacifics, the closer, if I'm correct by the year. I think it was 2014.
No, it was 2013 and
13.
2014.
That's right.
Both years. And during those years, Stu, you would know better than I, but I think he only blew one save in 2 years.
I think it was one save. As you're not kidding. What a guy to have. He reminds you of some of the great closers in history, but and he was a fun guy to have in the clubhouse, but had the big beard the same way Monger has. You're right. That's a good call.
But Monger has had a long, storied career, both in affiliated and independent baseball at all levels. There hardly is anyone who's been around the game at the independent level who doesn't know him.
2 strikes, and there's the big bender, and he got him looking. Holy cow. Mike Harris has thrown the big, just the funky curveball 4 times tonight, and all 4 times he's pulled it out. He's gotten the strikeout to end things. Our thanks to President and General Manager Mike Shapiro for sitting in with us here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. Any parting words for the people on TV watching live?
Well, I hope folks will come out. We have 8 more games after tonight, a lot of really fun activities, including tomorrow night, which is going to be really special. We have 10 members from the cast of 13 Reasons Why.
Wow.
So it'll be a great finish to this season, so we hope we get a chance to see some of the fans come out.
Yeah, and a lot of that series was filmed right here in San Rafael, out in Peacock Gap, in fact. Well, coming up in the top of the 5th, it will be Scott David, followed by Joel Carranza, Daniel Baptista, 2, 3, 4 hitters in this 1-0 affair. We'll send it down to the field right now.
Once again,
اهلا بكم جميعا. انا عزيز. مباراه ليست وصلنا في نهايه الشوط الرابع والنتيجه لا تزال 1-0 منذ بدايه الشوط الاول. النتيجه لا تزال مجمده كما نقول ولم تتغير ابدا. فريق دفاعي جيد ضد فريق مهاجم جيد. نتمنى لهم الحظ الاوفر.
Thanks, Aziz. The Pacifics had their 4th runner stranded in scoring position with less than 2 outs tonight, and a leadoff single by Jake Taylor. Weren't able to get him home after he advanced to second base on a wild pitch. And we'll see if the Pacifics can score some runs later in the game. I'm Graham Gillis. Thanks.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in the top of the 5th inning. It's a 1-0 affair. Scott David is leading things off. David 1 for 2 on the night. Now with the play-by-play. Her maiden voyage, Tressa Furry.
Thanks, Stu. As Stu just said, it's 0-1 to Scott David. And we take a picture low for 1-1. Scott David so far is 1 for 2 with a single in the 3rd inning and a fly out to right. Mejia delivers 2-1. Now, the story of Mejia this inning, and this game actually, is that he has pitched well over 15 pitches per inning. Here's another one. And the throw goes over Rizzatello's head, thrown by Llewellyn. So that is David safe at first.
Well, Llewellyn really had to dive for it. It was just struck very sharply, straight up the middle. Llewellyn actually made a pretty good defensive stop on it, but as you mentioned, he chucked it right over the head of Rizzatello, and David's aboard. And that's going to be credited as a base hit.
Yeah, Llewellyn's had some tough plays over there a couple of times tonight, so no surprise there.
No, you're right. And any second baseman, I think, is going to get a few sharp line drives every game.
Right. Up next is Joel Carranza, the DH. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the 3rd inning, and he was the first batter to get on base in the 1st inning with a walk, and he is Sonoma's only run, driven in by Brandon Metzger. Mejia gets himself settled. This would be his 95th pitch in the inning. He has been a workhorse this inning. Mejia delivers, strike right down the middle. Nice little curveball there, 0-1.
Boy, that was a big, you're right, that was a big bender.
Yeah.
And it had Carranza totally fooled and frozen.
Carranza is not only going to take that pitch, but I'm trying to find his...
He's batting .288.
Thank you. Took me a little while to find that. But Mejia stares down. We got Scott David at first. Carranza bats it to Llewellyn. Decides to go to safe play, 4-3 to get the first out of the inning. David advances to second easily on the play. And so that makes Carranza 0 for 2 for the night. Up next is Sonoma's third baseman, Daniel Bautista. He is 0 for 1 also with a single in the first inning up to right field, and he has walked. So that would be catcher Isaac Wenrick, or no, my bad. Ricky Gingras visiting Mejia real quick. Probably figuring out how to pitch to Bautista. Let's see. Bautista hitting .283 in this season. And wearing number 44, reminiscent of Hank Aaron. Fun fact. First pitch up high, 1-0.
Ah, you want to go fun facts on Hank Aaron, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Who was the broadcaster when he hit 715? That's a tough one.
I do know who is the hitter on deck.
Well,
when he
everybody
hit
knows that.
756.
Well, no, not
Or
7. When he hit
715.
715, that was Dusty Baker, wasn't it?
A Sacramento native like myself.
Uh-huh. Baker did a good job with the Giants, but never got it done.
No.
I never felt comfortable, to tell you the truth.
Ah.
Destiny and Russ Ortiz and the whole blue tongue thing never sat right with me because he's a Dodger.
1-1 pitch up high. 2-1. No, I agree with you too, but maybe he's doing the same thing with the Nationals. Hopefully with that young, pretty good team dominating the NL East.
Well, Dusty's been here opening the game for the Pacifics a couple of times.
2-1 pitch. Just a shot up the middle, right into center field. Got Scott David running home. It is 2-0 Sonoma. So that would make another RBI for Bautista.
Boy, has he been a pain in the neck on the Pacifics. 2 for 2 tonight. And another RBI.
Yeah.
It was Milo Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
Was doing the play-by-play. The great Milo Hamilton called 7:15. And it's funny. I remember my brother and I were watching it. And when it happened, it was just such a shock because fans ran out on the field and they were touching him and they just wanted to be a part of it all.
Brian Metzger taking his first pitch, and it's a little high ball, 1-0. Brian Metzger is hitting .316, so we got the middle of the order hitter who can hit anytime he likes. And with Mejia working as well as he is, with a full count, pretty sure Metzger's going to have plenty of opportunities to see the ball.
3 bombs and 29 driven in.
Right now I have a 2-0 count. Mejia stares him down. Delivers, and a little bit of a check swing, but not enough to consider it a strike, so we have a 3-0 count. Not an unusual thing for Mejia these past couple innings. We have seen him plenty of times start with a 3-0 count, but has worked his way back through foul balls or beautiful strikes to go back to a full count. As evidenced there with a 3-1 count and a strike right down the middle.
How often do you think? I wonder what the percentage of how often hitters swing on a 3-0 count.
I often wonder that too, because I would think hitters, I don't know if they always anticipate 4 straight balls. If it's going to be a 3-0 count, I would think they would swing quite often because they're probably going to anticipate that's going to be a strike.
You know it's going to be a great pitch, and yet, more often than not, they don't swing at it.
Yeah.
And now it's full.
Full count, Mejia delivers. Got a little foul up divide the first base side, so still 3-2. And we are well over 100 pitches for Mejia.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Metzger, back in the first inning, had his first base knock of the night. Tressa, and had that RBI that you mentioned that knocked in Joel Carranza for the first run of the night. But now it's 2-0, and the Sonomas are starting to pull away.
I anticipate this will be the last inning for Mejia as he delivers this pitch. And that would be his, I believe, his fourth walk of the game to Metzger. That'll advance Baptista to second, and we have Gingras going back to talk to Mejia. And correct me if I'm wrong, Stu, but is that Matt Kavanaugh coming out to the mound?
You are correct.
Yes.
Matt Kavanaugh, the manager, is going down he's going to go talk with Gingras and Mejia and discuss the immediate future of Angel Mejia, and that's going to be it. Mejia is done for the night. So while he did very good work on the night, as you mentioned, Tressa, that's going to finish things. And we're going to step aside for a moment, take a quick break while the Pacifics go to the bullpen here in the fifth. We'll be right back on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics.
Welcome back to this San Rafael Pacifics games. We got James McReynolds now pitching in relief for Angel Mejia. And my partner, Stu Horn, is going to give us the line.
All right.
After that strike right down the middle, fastball 0-1.
All right, McReynolds on the season is 2-5 with a 6.24 ERA, 73 strikeouts against 35 walks. He's given up 53 earned runs in 76 and a third innings pitched.
And that is a shot up the middle by Weinrich, and that's going to be run number 74 for James McReynolds, followed by 75. So after some wild throwing out by, I couldn't exactly tell who because I was paying attention to the runners, but that will score 2 runs, and now Weinrich is at third. That is 4-0 Sonoma.
See if I can recap for you and all the things that just happened. But the shot up the middle was thrown in by Monger, and it was overthrown. Gingras couldn't handle it. On the play, Bautista came in and scored. Right behind him, Metzger scored all the way from first base, and now it's 4-0. Wenrick on the play ends up at third base as the ball was being chucked all over the infield. As Tressa said, it looked a little bit like a Little League game there for a moment.
Out of the hand of James McReynolds, a ball to Yuki Yasuka, the Stompers for second baseman, 1-0 count.
Yasuda's been with the Stompers a couple of years now and has been so clutch.
McReynolds stares him down. Out of the hand, McReynolds is a perfect strike right down the middle. 1-1 count.
Interestingly enough, both of those runs, Baptista and Metzger, those belong to Angel Mejia as he had put them on base.
You're right, Stu. My apologies. Another pitch, 2-1. A little bit of a low, I'd say. I actually can't tell that pitch. I would just say
Well, that's the one thing. From our vantage point here, high above first base line, it's really tough sometimes to pick up the pitch.
Yeah. And just a chopper swing and a miss by Yasuda, make it a 2-2 count.
Very nice fastball. High 80s. McReynolds, the big right-hander, is able to just heave a hard one in there and had Yasuda reaching for it.
Yes. Yasuda bends down with that very interesting setup of his. McReynolds throws, and another swing and a miss. And then a throw from Gingras to Rizzatello to first, and that is a strikeout. First strikeout for McReynolds, resulting in out number 2. Up at bat now is Derek Fox. He is 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th inning, down the middle, where pretty much all the singles have been this entire game.
Which tells you that the Stomper hitters are right on Pacific's pitching if they're knocking them straight up the middle time after time. With the exception of Yasuda, who's having a tough night over 3 with a pair of strikeouts.
First pitch of strike right down the middle. Great fastball, 0-1.
McReynolds would like to get out of it right here because Lococo's next and then the top of the order.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that runner from third coming in. Next pitch out of the hand is a grounder, 3 unassisted. Rizzatello takes it for out number 3.
For the Stompers, 3 runs, 3 hits.
So the Stompers scored 3 runs on 3 hits and a wild little error in there too. But luckily the Pacifics get out of it almost unscathed, except for the 3 runs. So Pacifics up next. They have the 8-9 one-hitter. They got Miles Williams, Zach Goldstein, and Juan Herrera coming right up. It is 4-0 Stompers up in the bottom of the 5th inning. And we're going to take it down to Taylor.
There's a little bit of everything in that inning. A couple wild throws, a strikeout, 3 runs scored, and we got a guy walking straight in the line of fire. I'm sorry about that, guys. But like I said, what an interesting inning. Sonoma scores 3 runs, and this game is getting blown open real quick. Back to you guys.
Hey, there we are, everybody. Tress and I on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. Well, Tress, I think you did a very good job in your maiden voyage of play-by-play.
Well, for a first time, I'm actually not too ashamed of myself. So
You shouldn't be. You were excellent. It's a tougher gig than most people think.
Yeah.
And you did beautiful work. Here's Miles Williams, everybody. Williams batting in the 8 hole, has only faced Harris 1 time tonight. And he struck out back in the 2nd inning. It'll be Williams, Goldstein, and Herrera. Bottom 5. Pacifics trail 4-zip. This game seems to be moving rather quickly, although we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. And we're not yet halfway through. Williams batting .258. Coming into tonight's action, 12 home runs and 48 driven in. Popped him up. Shallow. Infield. Yasuda calls for it. He goes out on the grass. Backs up. Now he comes in. 1 away. Bottom 5. And here's Zach Goldstein batting in the 9 hole. Goldstein hit a pop-up to Scott David at third base back in the 2nd. And Goldstein batting .258, 13 RBIs. Williams just barely missed it as he makes his way back to the Pacific's dugout. Goldstein stands in the 9 hole and takes a strike. Beautiful weather out here at Albert Park. It still feels like it's high 60s. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
I did put the sweater on a couple of innings ago, but I'm still with the shorts because it's just nice. Big curveball. Goldstein takes 0-2. Juan Herrera is on deck. 1 away here, bottom 5. Pacifics down 4-0. And if the Pacifics lose tonight, they are mathematically eliminated from any chance at the postseason. Although, for all intents and purposes, that came about 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks ago. A check swing, and Goldstein goes down on 3 pitches, Tressa, 2 away.
Not good for the Pacifics, especially since they only had a 1-0 lead to get back for a while, but after that slightly disastrous inning, a lot more pressure on the Pacifics.
Juan Herrera makes his way to the hitting area. Herrera 1 for 2 on the night. A single back in the 1st to start things off for the Pacifics, and he takes strike 1. Demetrius Moore is on deck, but Herrera has 2 away and nobody on, and Harris only seems to be throwing harder. Big curveball, just unbelievable movement. Not only to move a ton, it bounced in the dirt. It was scooped up backhand style by Wenrick, and quickly Juan Herrera is behind in the count, 0-2. And Tyrell Harris with that 2.33 ERA. You heard Mike Shapiro say that the Pacifics tried to get him at one point. There's a curveball again. Taken. Just a little outside. Isaac Wenrick motioned out toward Harris as if to say, beautiful pitch, and it was. But Herrera didn't offer at it. There's the close-up on Harris. Popped him up first base side, not a play, back toward Kirby Cove. That's where the kids can come and hang out and play wiffle ball and do some putting. Yes, they have a putting, like a miniature putting area out here for the kids. There's a ton of stuff to do if you come to a Pacifics game and bring the kids. Here's the 1-2, leaning for it. stretching toward Derek Fox. Long throw. And it popped out of the glove of Baptista. And Herrera beat it out.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they call that an error on Baptista. I don't know that he was going to get him anyway, Tress. I don't know that the throw was there. It was so deep in the hole. It was a strong throw by Derek Fox, the shortstop. But Herrera's pretty fast, and they call it an error. So Juan Herrera reaches E6, and with 2 down, here is Demetrius Moore. So it's going to be a throw. It's going to be an error, actually E3. It was on the back end, not on the throw. Baptista just couldn't hold on to it. Here's Moore batting in the 2-hole. Takes a fastball up and away, 1-0. On the day, Demetrius Moore reached on a sacrifice in the first, a strikeout in the third, 0 for 1. Rizzatello is on deck. 1 on, 2 down. Fly ball right field. That I don't know if that's in play or not. It's behind and out of our area of sight. Lococo, the right fielder, is able to catch up to it and make the grab. Well, 1 runner left after 4 come to the plate. And Tyrell Harris is able to get out of it. We will move now to the top of the 6th inning where the score remains 4-0. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters for the Stompers in Matt Lococo, Matt Hibbert, and Scott David right here on our continued coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics on Marin TV. The Pacifics only have 8 games after tonight, and they're all at home. Our next telecast will be this Friday night. But for now, we'll send it down to the field. At least we will in just a moment. And here we go. We'll send it down to Aziz on the field with G2. Take it away.
اهلا انا عزيز عليكم من قناه مارين تي في مره اخرى. المباراه اصبحت غير مرضيه. النتيجه اصبحت 4-0 لفريق الستامبرز. المباراه تكون في منحدر خطير جدا. نتيجه غير مرضيه، ولكن ما زال لدينا 4 أشواط ونتمنى لهم الحظ الأوفر.
Thank you, Aziz. The Pacifics were only able to get 1 base runner off an error, no base hits. Weren't able to get him around. And the Pacifics were retired after that 1 error, and we're headed to the top of the 6th here on Marin TV. Thanks, I'm Graham.
Welcome back to Pacifics Baseball. We are at the top of the 6th inning. Jace McReynolds on the hill facing Matt Lococo. First pitch out of the hand of McReynolds is a slight ball, 1-0. I am still taking over for a little bit. Our trusty sidekick Stu Horn will be back in a little bit, but
He's not going to appreciate you calling him a sidekick.
oh, you know, amazing play by Demetrius Moore to get the first out. Robbed hit by Lococo, but fantastic play by Moore. And that voice you just heard a little bit ago is another colleague of ours, Taylor Williams. Hi, Taylor. How you doing?
I'm doing great today, Tressa.
Great.
I'm excited to be here. It's a beautiful night at Albert Park. Couldn't ask for better weather. Normally I'm wearing a jacket by this point in the night.
Yeah. So we got Matt Hibbert up, their center fielder. He is 0 for 3 tonight. McReynolds delivers, deals a ball, very low ball, is 1-0. Hibbert so far has had 2 flyouts, 1 to left, 1 to center, and he is grounded out. So McReynolds out of the hand is going to be a swing out into right field, but that is trying to tell, but yep, that is a catch by Miles Williams for out number 2. Very quick, efficient inning for McReynolds so far. Both flyouts, feeling very grateful for that. But we got Scott David back up, Stompers' third baseman, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored.
It's going to make Matt Cavanaugh happy right there. These Pacific's pitchers have just been laboring all night, long innings, have 2 quick outs right there. Let's finish it up with a third.
I agree, but 2 outs has been a little difficult for the Pacifics as McReynolds delivers is a strike right down the middle. So we got 0-1. And as Taylor was saying, Mejia has been laboring in the past 5 innings. So quick innings going to make Matt Kavanaugh very happy. And very quick one. Ball 1-1. Scott David has been hitting, if I can find his, never mind. Well, that is well out to left center field, but we got Monger on it, and that is the last flyout for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning by James McReynolds, which the Pacifics definitely needed, for sure. So up next, we got the Pacifics bats. It's your 3-4-5 hitters, Michael Rizzatello, Jake Taylor, and Ricky Gingras. Pacifics really need some runs, but before that, we're going to cut it to Graham down at the sideline. Take it away.
Thank you, Tressa. We had 3 outfield outs this inning on a great catch by Demetrius Moore in left field, a diving grab, full extension. 2 other flyouts will send us to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Stompers due up. Excuse me, the Pacifics due up. Thank you. I'm Graham Gillis on Marin TV.
Welcome back, everybody, to Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. Bottom 6. It's a 4-0 ball game. Rizzatello stands in behind the count. 1-2 now, as that big curve ball from Tyrell Harris is in the dirt. Jake Taylor's on deck. He'll be followed by Ricky Gingras. But for now, Rizzatello is 1 for 2 on the night with a single back in the first. Then a fly ball to center field in the 3rd. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Tyrell Harris is still throwing hard. This is a long fly ball into the gap in left center. Hibbert on the run. Hibbert at the wall. And it bounces off the top of the wall. Hibbert and Metzger are trying to get it, and here comes Rizzatello around third. I thought he was going to try for the inside the park home run. Instead, he's going to stop with a triple, and I'm not positive that wasn't a home run. Our field umpire is Eric Thompson, and now he wants to talk about it with Dean Botique. Now, Botique, of course, is a veteran in the league and has umped at this field many dozens of times. And I wonder if the discussion between Botique and Thompson right now is whether or not that was a home run. And in my view, I go to Taylor Williams now. It's so weird here at Albert Park, the way that the tape that indicates the top of the fence out there runs zigzag at one point right where the ball seemed to go out in the opposing softball field's dugout.
Yeah.
That it looked to me that Hibbert reached up over the fence, and I thought it was live over the fence for a moment. But either way, Rizzatello's only given his first triple of the season. Not many triples here at Albert Park. It's 370 straight away, a 25-foot-high wall out in center field. And 315 down the lines.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stu, Rizzatello could have had an inside the Parker if he didn't slip and fall.
I think you're right. He tripped getting to third base, or he could have made it, I think, without too much trouble. Either way, here's Jake Taylor, who may very well knock him in. Taylor's 1 for 2 on the night. Stranded at second base back in the 4th inning. Ricky Gingras is on deck. The big fella, Taylor, has a chance to get to Harris, who so far tonight, Taylor, has shut the Pacifics down. Bottom of the 6th, and Taylor swings wildly at something off speed. And he's quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
You can see now why Harris was in the Cubs minor league system, made it all the way to AAA.
Yeah, he's a big dude and has 4 great pitches. He's only used his big, huge bender 5 or 6 times so far tonight, but to great effect. He's also only thrown the changeup 2 or 3 times. There's a breaking ball. This is fouled first base side toward Kirby's Cove. And we'll do it again, the 4th pitch of the at-bat. Coming up, Taylor batting 300. Jake Taylor, that is, not Taylor Williams. Taylor Williams batting 600. Jake Taylor,
you're too kind,
the
Stu.
big DH, is batting 300, and he's behind in the count 0-2. Breaking ball, backhanded it short by Fox. Long throw in the hole, up the line, not in time. Taylor's aboard. On the play, Rizzatello scores, and the Pacifics are on the board, Taylor. It's a 4-1 ball game.
That's veteran Jake Taylor coming in clutch, scoring that run from third base and getting the Pacifics on the board.
Infield single. And here's Ricky Gingras. Pacifics do not want to go down easily tonight. They don't want to go into that dark night, as a loss tonight will officially end their chances this season, and they'll have to play the final 8 games with no chance. RBI number 60 there for Taylor, as Gingras fouls it out on an Anderson drive. 1 strike on him. Phildrek Llewellyn is on deck. Gingras, 2 bombs, 25 RBIs, takes 1-1.
Yeah, that's a hard way to end your season, Stu. Playing the last 8 games, basically meaningless.
Yeah, it's no fun. And for all intents and purposes, that's what the Pacifics have been doing for the last couple of weeks. But once it's official, everything changes. As Mike Shapiro mentioned, they're just getting a look at everybody. There's a shot up the middle into center field. Taylor's going to stop at second base. And Gingras with a hard hit single out to Matt Hibbert in center. And the Pacifics put 3 hits together, a triple by Rizzatello, an RBI, single by Taylor, and now a single up the middle by Gingras. And Wenrick wants to go out and talk to Harris.
Stu, there seems to be a theme when we do these games. The Pacifics come alive with the hitting later and later in these games.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they got the hitting going early. Although Harris has been so dominant tonight, it's just been ridiculous. Here's Phildrek Llewellyn. Only 27 at-bats for Llewellyn. He's batting .360 coming into tonight's action, but that's gone up. He's 1 for 2 on the night. A shot up the middle back in the 2nd inning. And he bunts up the first base line. Oh, it's a beauty. It's fielded by Baptista, who's able to throw him out, the covering Yasuda. But that moved Taylor to third base. And it moved Gingras to second base. So the sacrifice bunt by Llewellyn is the first out of the bottom of the 6th. And here comes Cameron Monger with 1 away and 2 runners in scoring position. Taylor, that's a nice place to be.
Oh, yeah.
As the Pacifics try to mount this big comeback. Monger struck out twice tonight, once swinging, once looking. And a slurvy breaking ball, it's way off speed, is taken by Monger. 1 ball. Miles Williams is on deck. But Monger is absolutely due for something great. And he's got 2 on, both in scoring position. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is swung on and missed. The high hard one, 1-1.
When Stu says someone's due, that means they're due.
Well, a great hitter like Monger, and he really is. He's a .252 hitter, but he seems to do the things that great hitters do, and that is get the knocks when he needs them. It's 4-1, and the Pacifics could use it right here. Curve ball in the dirt. And Monger's going to see that on film and kick himself. 1-2.
That was cringeworthy.
It was cringeworthy. Tyler Harris has that big bender going, and he's not the first guy tonight to swing at that breaking ball. As we mentioned in 2009, Harris was drafted by the Braves and most recently with the Cubs. And he's got some nasty stuff. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball left field. Going back is Metzger at the wall. Looking up. Hello! Cameron Monger. A 3-run blast, and it's 4-4. A home run here in the 6th. Well, Taylor, Monger was due.
Stu, the prophet.
4-4, and Monger ties the game. That is his 22nd RBI. It's his 20th, 21st, and 22nd RBIs. His 6th home run on the season. He goes 1 for 3 on the night, but a big blast over the left field wall, way over Metzger's head. And here's Miles Williams. with one away and nobody on after Monger clears the bases with the bomb over the left field wall. Williams 0 for 2 on the night, batting .258. Fastball is lifted a mile in the air into the gap in left center. Hibbert over. Metzger's there. He's got it.
Stu, you going to
2
call
down.
any more shots tonight, or are you just going to retire 1 for 1?
Well, I'm not sure. We'll see how I feel about things, but that was some pretty good play. 2 down. Pretty good play out of Monger, and good timing, especially when I said he was very due. Here's Goldstein batting in the 9-hole. Goldstein 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a pop-up.
That entire at bat, you could tell he was swinging for the fences too.
Well, he hit a 2-1 fastball over the wall, and there's another fastball high in the zone, swung on and missed to Goldstein. 1 strike on him. Juan Herrera, the top of the order, on deck. Goldstein comes in, and a chopper up the middle. Yasuda's there, on to first, in time. And that'll do it. Well, the Pacific score 4 with 4 hits as Goldstein goes down 3 to the covering 4, leaving Herrera on deck. We go top 7. It's a tie ball game all of a sudden after it looked like the Sonomas had dominated so completely. Top 7, and here comes Joel Carranza, Daniel Baptista, and Brennan Metzger. It's 4-4. We'll send it to the field for Tressa and Aziz. Take it away.
اهلا جميعا، اعود اليكم من قناه مارين تي في. تم تغيير جذري في المباراه، كان الشوط 4-0 ولكن تم تغيير النتيجه الى 4-1. نتيجه مرضيه جدا، نتيجه جميله. هذا يبعث الامل على الحصول على الفوز بطريقه او باخرى.
Pacific's fans, we got ourselves a ball game now. 3-run home run by Karen Monger out to left field. Definitely pumped the crowd out. And now it is tied 4-4 going into the 7th inning. Back to you, Stu.
Top 7. Well. It's a 4-4 ball game. After the Pacifics came roaring back in the bottom of the inning, here's Joel Carranza. And we'll see if the Pacifics can keep it right there. Carranza takes 1-0. Carranza, Baptista, and Metzger here in the 7th. Carranza takes, and I can't imagine, Taylor, where that missed. 2-0. Looked like a pretty good pitch. From our angle, Carranza batting .288. Fly ball right field and deep. Backing up Williams. And Williams cannot catch up to it. So it's just a long, dramatic strike, 2-1. Carranza, the big slugger, is 0 for 2 tonight. He had a walk and a run scored in the first and a strikeout and a ground ball. 12 home runs and 56 driven in. What little breeze there is really not affecting the balls at all tonight. Carranza hammers one, foul third base line. Well, he spun just a little early, Taylor. And it's 2-2.
You know, Stu, it really is a beautiful night for baseball.
Isn't it? It was about 71 at first pitch, and it's only gone down a few degrees. Nice and cool, but beautiful. Breaking ball outside. Full count to Joel Carranza, the DH in the 3-hole. Always dangerous Carranza, been with the club several years now. One of those clutch guys. Oh, and he swings at the fastball, and McReynolds gets him. 1 away. Whew, that was strong. Strong pitching out of James McReynolds with that 6.24 ERA. The big right-hander was able to whiff Carranza, and that's no easy task. Here's Baptista, who's 2 for 3. Check it, 2 for 2 on the night. He has a walk, a run scored, an RBI single up the middle. Baptista's just been doing it all with Metzger on deck. 1 away.
Wow.
4-4 ball game. Big, imposing left-handed batter. takes for a strike.
Speaking of big, imposing, Baptista and Carranza, both big dudes, stand in that batter's box. You can tell just have a lot of power.
Yeah, Baptista batting .283.
Both have the show flow, the hair coming out the back of the
Yep.
helmet look good, look like ball players.
1-1. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing old school about that. The old school guys wear it high and tight. These guys,
That's the Manny Ramirez generation right there.
yeah, you're not kidding. And from here, it's exactly who he looks like, almost as big as Ramirez, 2-1 to Baptista, .283 hitter. Yeah, there's Carranza on your screen. Check swing, and he definitely went around, 2-2. Just such a funky breaking ball that McReynolds tossed in there that Baptista had no chance, and he knew it, but it was too late. And the barrel of the bat crossed the front of the plate.
McReynolds is looking sharp since the first inning he came in.
2-2. Fastball is fouled back to the screen. You're absolutely right. He's looked very sharp, especially when he was able to get Carranza on 8 pitches. Set him up and set him down. Metzger's on deck, 1 away. Baptista stands back in. 2-2. Chop towards third, and that gets away from Goldstein. Goldstein was playing well off the bag, and it went right up the line. So Baptista is aboard at first with a single down the third base line. And here is Brennan Metzger. Takashi Miyoshi, the manager of the Stompers, has done a masterful job with the group this year. They absolutely just masterfully made their way through the first half and still lead in the second half, although only by 1 game over Vallejo. This is popped foul toward Kirby Cove and out of play. 0-1 on Metzger. We're in the top of the 7th. Isaac Wenrick is on deck. Baptista the runner at first. 1 down. Carranza started off with a strikeout. Then Baptista with a single down the third base line. Here's Metzger. In the dirt, this gets away from Gingras, but only for a moment. Metzger, check it. Baptista is not able to advance. So no harm done. 1-1. Metzger with an RBI single back in the first to score Carranza, and that's how the game stayed for several innings. It was just a 1-0 affair. And then the Stompers added 3 more in the 5th, and the Pacifics came back with 4 of their own in the 6th after the home run by Monger. Metzger, batting .316, takes 2-1. Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics in our 3rd season on the air. Metzger, the batter. Brennan Metzger, 3 home runs and 29 driven in, including that RBI back in the first. Taken for a strike, and now it's 2-2. And a big moment for James McReynolds with the big right-hander, Taylor. McReynolds has him right where he wants him. It depends on what he can do with it now, though.
Well, he's definitely not throwing anything in the zone right here. It's going to be something that he's going to want to chase. I would say a low breaking ball.
I'm going to go high heat. Let's
High
see what
heat.
it is. It was a breaking ball up in the zone and fouled out of play. So somewhere between exactly what I said and what you said. The count remains 2-2.
Yeah, he left that one up hanging, though. He's lucky. Didn't take that right out of the yard.
Yeah, you might be right. You called the breaking ball. You had that part right. But it was way up, and I don't know if McReynolds meant to leave it up there. You never want to hang one to a good hitter like Metzger, who's batting .316. Anybody in the 5-hole, I say keep the ball down. Here it is, 2-2, hammered into right field. This is going to be a tough play for Williams. He's back at the wall. He's got it. Williams with the grab. And Baptista has to return to first base. Well, that was a well-struck line drive to 9. And now there are 2 away. Baptista back at first base. And here's Isaac Wenrick. Wenrick is another veteran that you don't want to mess with. And I'm sure that McReynolds knows that.
Well, the Stompers are a veteran-laden team. They have a lot of guys with a lot of experience, and that's why you find them in first place right in the second half.
That's a good call. Wenrick comes in batting .275. 1 for 3 on the night. Takes low. 1-0. He was stranded at third base in the 5th inning. Otherwise, a line drive and a strikeout account for his work tonight. There's a foul tip into the shin guard of Ricky Gingras. 1-1. Yuki Yasuda is on deck. Here in the top of the 7th inning, it's a 4-4 ball game. In a must-win game, it is a must-win game for the Pacifics. For if they lose, they are mathematically eliminated on the season. And he got him with a slider to swing right over the top of it. Well, you can get him, but he did get him to swing over the top of it. Generally, that phrase, got him, is reserved for the punch-out. But I got a little ahead of myself, 1-2. To the .275 batting Isaac Wenrick, the catcher, with 2 away, 1 on. That's Baptiste at first base. McReynolds takes a long look, and now he steps off. There's always the ballet between the pitcher and a runner at first base. Will he go? What's going to happen? Line shot toward first. It gets under the glove of Rizzatello into right field. Baptista moves over to second. Wenrick is aboard with a single. And here's Yuki Yasuda with 2 down, now 2 on.
Stu, as you mentioned multiple times during this broadcast, it's a must-win game for the Pacifics. My question to you is, what do they have to do next year to right the ship? Because this is a winning organization since they've entered the league.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it all comes down to pitching. And the Pacifics lost everybody, it seems, at the start of the year. The opening day starter, Patrick Conroy, is hurt, and his future is questionable as Yasuda takes a slider for a strike. Derek Fox is on deck. Yasuda batting .261. But really, and there are a lot of differing opinions on why teams are successful and when they're not successful, why that is. But I've always been a guy that goes with pitching. 1-1, by the way, to Yasuda. You know, it's nice to have a couple big sluggers like Baptista, like Wenrick, like Carranza. But good pitching is always very important. And a line drive to Williams, and he dives for it, and he makes the grab. And Williams, with a spectacular play, ends it on what would have been extra bases. So Yuki Yasuda goes down a line drive, no runs on 2 hits, and the score remains 4-4. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, for those of you at home, it's time to stand up and take your 7th inning stretch. It'll be the top of the order, and Juan Herrera, Demetrius Moore, and Michael Rizzatello will send it down to the field now for G2 in the wrap.
Thank you, Stu. The Stompers were able to get a couple of base knocks in this inning, but weren't able to get them home. It's still 4-4 Pacifics and Stompers here going into the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Graham Gillis on Marin TV.
Welcome back to the ballpark, everybody. Our continued coverage on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. Yours truly, Stuart Horn, and I'm joined by my longtime sidekick, Forrest Hunt. There he is, folks, to my right. DJ Shirabi is the new pitcher for the Stompers in this 4-4 game. Bottom 7 Pacifics for the first time tonight. Forrest have a chance to go ahead, and pitching for, or check it, hitting for the Pacifics here is the top of the order in Juan Herrera. Now Shirabi will have his line in just a moment as Herrera reaches for it. Over to second. Oh, and it takes a weird hop over Yuki Yasuda's head. It goes off of his right shoulder. And Juan Herrera's aboard.
You know, sometimes you just get a lucky bounce. Pacific's needed one there to get back into this ball game. And it's a 4-4 game now, looking a little interesting. First batter of the inning getting on. Looks like they could be in some business at the top of the order.
Hey, we're joined by Phildrek Llewellyn, the second baseman. I didn't recognize him without his, well, from this angle, I've never been up this tight to him, but Llewellyn's here, everybody. If we get a camera angle on him, he's sitting right here behind me. How about the camera? Bring the camera. There's Llewellyn. Where is he? Look, hey, get over there. There he is, everybody. There's Llewellyn. Has he been good? He's only been with the Pacifics for a short period of time. He's only batted 28 times. This is popped straight in the air by Demetrius Moore, and it's caught by Isaac Wenrick, the catcher. All right, Llewellyn, thanks for stopping by. Why, Phildrek Llewellyn, everybody. Well, very quickly, Moore is gone, one down, as he attempts to bunt. But, Forrest, there's nothing worse than when you square the bunt and pop it straight up, and the catcher just puts it out like a big soup ladle and pulls it in.
You know, I tell you, never bunt it straight back to the pitcher, and it's kind of an unwritten rule that you don't pop it up either. Rally killers.
Rizzatello now. Rizzatello had a triple his last at-bat, and a run scored as part of that 4-run rally that the Pacifics pieced together back in the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 7th now, and Rizzatello takes a ball. Jake Taylor is on deck, one down, with Herrera at first. That fastball is fouled back to the screen, 1-1. DJ, go ahead, go ahead.
Just say Herrera's gonna have to get in scoring position here with Taylor due up next.
Well, yeah.
RBI man.
After Moore was not able to bunt him over. Shirabi is 5-3 on the season, a 2.59 ERA. There's something off speed is taken, 2-1. On the season, Shirabi has pitched 34 2/3 innings, given up 24 hits and 13 runs, 10 of them earned. 20 walks against 43 strikeouts. Those are pretty good numbers. Shirabi deals the big right-hander and taken. And now it's 2-2.
I'd like to see Herrera off and running here sometime soon, Stu. Getting late in the ballgame, it's a tie game. Got to get in scoring position any way you can.
Rizzatello is 2 for 3 on the night. Been knocking the ball all over the place. And he hammers it over to third base, and this could be 2 on to second for 1. Back in from Yasuda, double play. So that kills the rally as Rizzatello hits into a 5-4-3 inning killer. Ouch. After the Pacifics got things started the right way, everything went downhill. The bunt pop-up from Moore, and then the double play. That's a whole lot of ouch. We go top 8, 4-4 ball game. Derek Fox, followed by Matt Lococo and Matt Hibbert, as our continued coverage of the 2017 Pacifics right here on Marin TV continues, and we'll send it down to the field to Tressen Aziz right now.
اهلا بكم جميعا. انا عزيز اعود اليكم من قناه مارين تي في. المباراه لا زالت في تعادل، النتيجه 4-4. نتمنى ان يحصل نوع من عنصر المفاجاه في هذه المباراه عن طريق المهاجمين او المدافعين، ونتمنى لهم الحظ الاوفر.
Well, that inning is about as cold as I am right now. It ended with a 5-4-3 double play. Not what the Pacifics wanted per se, but we are now in the 8th inning, and we're going to try to prevent that 4-4 lead from becoming a lead for Sonoma. Back to you, Stu. Can I start smiling now? I'm going to stop smiling now.
Welcome back, everybody. The shortstop for the Stompers is Derek Fox, and he's at the plate. And he's behind in the count, 0-1. McReynolds out there, still throwing hard. And now it's 0-2. Another fastball across the knees. Stuart Horn, Forrest Hunt. Your Marin TV telecasters for tonight, right here on Channel 30. And it looked like he foul-tipped a slider or something there, Forrest. And it got away from Gingras, and the count remains 0-2.
He's had good control of his off speed tonight throughout the game. Big reason why it's still a 4-4 ball game.
McReynolds came in relief of Mejia, and a line drive to right field, and Williams is there, and Fox is gone. One away. Here's Matt Lococo. McReynolds came in relief of Angel Mejia back in the 5th inning, and then, as Forrest mentioned, has been pretty great. When he got him 1-2-3 back in the 6th, and has given up no runs. It's 4-4. Lococo batting .208, 24 RBIs. Takes across the knees. Ooh. That may have been a pitcher's strike right there. 1 strike on him. Top of the order, Matt Hibbert. He's on deck. 1 down. McReynolds, a 6.24 ERA. Fastball is, oh, brother. That might have been a makeup pitch, 1-1. I don't know that the pitch before that was a strike, but that last pitch looked pretty good from our angle. 1-1 now to Lococo. Now that is low, 2-1. Perfect night for baseball. Our next telecast will be 72 hours from now on Friday night. Friday night baseball, 7:05 first pitch. Lococo fouls one out onto Anderson drive. And now it's 2-2. 2-2, the same numbers that are on the back of McReynolds' jersey. There's a good look at it. 22 matches the 2-2 just above it. 4-4 ball game. There's a lot of 2s and 4s on your TV screen right now. Chopper towards second. Coming in is Llewellyn. On off balance on his way to first, and he gets him. And that was a nice play by Llewellyn, who had to charge it and had to get rid of it quickly for us. 2 down.
His infield's playing a little tricky tonight. Last inning when the Pacifics were hitting, we saw the Stomper second baseman also have trouble with a ground ball. It popped right over his head.
Yeah, Yasuda rushed in on one, you're right, and it came off of his right shoulder. He was nowhere near it. You take a weird hop in minor leagues around, not only in this league, but all around the country. The fields are nice, but they're not quite as nice as what we're used to seeing like at AT&T Park, where you never get a weird bounce. Matt Hibbert takes strike 1. Scott David's on deck. 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning in a 4-4 ball game. Pacifics cannot lose tonight. I mean, they can lose, but they don't want to lose. I mean, they don't want to lose any games. Breaking ball is taken 1-1. But if they lose tonight for us, they are officially out of it. The Pacifics have had a rough go this year. 2-1.
Well, they're holding their own tonight, and that's what you ask of the guys, to go out every day and fight to live another day. And they're doing that, exactly that tonight, climbing back into this ballgame.
You're absolutely right. They had to climb right back into it, and climb they did. Hammered, third base side, diving for it is Goldstein at third. He can't get to it. It's in the hole between short and third. And Hibbert has his first knock of the night. Here's Scott David. The Pacifics, it's been feast or famine for the Pacifics. Last Thursday, Friday, they scored 25 runs those 2 nights. Then Saturday, Sunday, a total of 2 runs. And if they could spread it out all season long, I think the Pacifics would have had a decent season. And they've never been here, 12-27 on the road. They've never been in the cellar this long and this far into the cellar. I don't think they've ever been in the cellar. This is their 6th year in existence. I've been with them the whole way. I don't remember the Pacifics ever in the cellar, and certainly not this far down. Scott takes 1-0. Carranza is on deck. Scott tonight is 2 for 4. A run scored back in the 5th. A left-handed batter, snap throw over to first. And Hibbert was leaning, but he scurries back safely. The big fight will be this weekend when Sonoma meets Vallejo. And Sonoma is only one game up on Vallejo. Another snap throw over to first, and Eric Thompson says nope, he's in there safely. As Vallejo has been vying for the top spot. Sonoma's the champs in 2016, and everybody thought after they ran away with the first half that they'd run away with the second half, but Vallejo has thought otherwise. Fastball is taken 1-1. And the Admirals are only one game back. And if the Stompers lose tonight, well, the Admirals are going to creep that much closer before that 3-game undisputed heavyweight battle of the champs this weekend in the final weekend of the league. Now, next, let's see, we'll be on Friday night when the Diamonds are here. And then next week on Tuesday night. So the Sonomas have it all. It's all up to them. 2-1 to Scott David. But the Pacifics just don't want to go quietly into the dark night. They don't want to do it, and they don't want to do it tonight. Oh. 2-2.
Tell you what, that fastball looks good from our angle. The height looked good. In and out. It's hard to tell from here, but
Really tough. Good snap in the glove of Gingras. And sometimes, and that last pitch was a perfect example, I cannot tell where it misses.
especially by the reaction of the crowd, too, you thought he would have gotten that call.
Yeah. David, with 2 down, stands in. Now he stands out. McReynolds steps off. Hibbert, the runner at first base, he's way off, and David's not even in the batter's box. Hibbert's just way out there dancing around off of first, being held on very closely by Michael Rizzatello, the first baseman. David stands in, 2-2, fly ball to right field. Williams is there. He's got it. Well, Williams been playing some superb defense tonight. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error. No errors. I'm happy to report. No errors on the Pacifics. Pacifics only have the 1 error on the game. We go bottom 8. For San Rafael in this 4-4 game, it'll be Jake Taylor, followed by Ricky Gingras and Phildrek Llewellyn, the 4, 5, 6 hitters. We'll send it down to the field. And here's G2.
Thanks, Stu. The Stompers were only able to get 1 hit this inning. Weren't able to advance them or get them around. And it's still 4-4 heading to the bottom of the 8th inning on Marin TV. I'm Graham Gillis. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the 8th inning in this 4-4 ball game. Stuart Horn, Forrest Hunt, Marin TV. Jake Taylor is the batter, and he immediately fouls one back to the parking lot. 1 strike on him. Taylor is 2 for 3 on the night. An infield hit, an RBI, a run scored. Taylor, as usual, is doing it all. And he's only DHing. Hard to do it all with no defense. Takes up and away, 1-1.
And if you're the Pacifics, this is where you want to get it done, too. Middle third of the order, bottom of the 8th. It's getting late. Tie ball game. You got the power up at the plate. Good spot to get it done right here.
Sharabi, the right-hander. Curve ball, swung on and chopped foul, third base side. 1-2. Ricky Gingras is on deck with Llewellyn in the hole. Taylor batting .300 coming into tonight's action. Picked up his 60th RBI earlier in the evening in that 4-run 7th, check it, 6th inning for the San Rafaels. And nice to have one of those rally innings come along at just the right time, Forrest. And the Pacifics pick up a 4 spot. Sharabi comes home, broken bat, first base side, a base hit into right field, and Taylor is aboard with his 3rd knock of the night. Forrest, so nice. He reached for it, broke the bat, but was able to go opposite field.
And he gets it done any way you ask him to do it. Crunch time, 4-4 ball game late. gets on base to open the inning, gives the Meteor Order a chance to put another run on the board.
Here's Gingras, who's 1 for 3 tonight. A run scored, a single up the middle his last at bat, so he's on it. Gingras, a very wide stance. Shirabi deals a fastball, taken strike 1. Llewellyn is on deck, but right now the Pacifics have the advantage with the big fella, Jake Taylor, over at first base. Taylor's, he's stolen 6 bags this season. He's been caught twice. And now it's 1-1 to Gingras. Gingras, the everyday catcher for the Santa Fels, has been pretty clutch, batting .306. This would be a good time to do it. Oh, fouled back. Like a little two-seamer there. High in the strike zone. Gingras just couldn't catch up to it. 1-2. And we'll see how long Shirabi can stay in there. If Gingras comes up with a base hit here, who knows what'll happen? Who knows if the Stompers will leave him in there, and he got him with just a masterful breaking ball, 1 away. That was nasty, Forrest.
He's had good control of his breaking ball ever since he got in here, and Gingras had the right idea trying to go left side with it. The shortstop was playing behind the bag at second for a double play, and the 5-6 hole was wide open. Just a really well-placed breaking ball.
Yeah, and well-timed. Here's Phildrick Llewellyn, who joined us just for a moment in between innings. He was coming up refilling his I don't know what it was, a drinking apparatus of some sort. Like a thermos, but not. Like a cup, but not. Something. Ball 1 on him. Cameron Monger's on deck. 1 away, 1 on. Bottom 8. Very high, up and in, and Llewellyn buckles up back and out of the way, 2-0. Forrest, you were a pitcher back in high school, isn't that right?
That's correct.
So when you get into late in the game like this, and you know you've got the heart of the order and some pretty good hitters, and Llewellyn's a .360 hitter. Of course, he's only had 28 at-bats with the club. How would you approach a guy like this as 2-1?
Well, good start's getting a first pitch strike, which he did do to Taylor, but hasn't here. Went down 2-0, got a swinging strike there on a good pitch, well located. You have to have a feeling for all your pitches this late in the game when it's really crunch time. He's had a good breaking ball so far, and he's spotting his fastball well, so it's a good start.
Llewellyn stands in and chops it foul right off of the plate. And it's 2-2. 4-4 ball game, bottom of the 8th. Pacifics started off the bottom of the 8th with Jake Taylor and a single to right field, and then Gingras with a swinging strikeout. And all the pressure is on Llewellyn. The Pacifics could scratch 1 across here. It would mean so much. Breaking ball, and there's another broken bat. This is to second. Yasuda's got it. He has nowhere to go with it. And everybody's safe. Now Yasuda had to come in on it, and Jake Taylor is called out at second base, and he doesn't argue it too much. And I agree, because Taylor, I wish we had the replay set up for that, because Taylor got in the way. And the rule states that the second baseman is entitled to have a free run at the ball, and Taylor got in the way of it. You can run and jump over the ball, and you can hang in front of the player as long as you can and as the ball is coming. But in that case, he obstructed Yasuda's run at the ball. So Taylor is out. And Llewellyn is safe at first. Monger skies one 8 miles high, but it's foul. And that's how we stand. So Llewellyn the runner at first base. Monger the batter. And there are 2 down. So Taylor's out obstructing. That you don't see too often. With Miles Williams on deck. Monger takes outside Black, a little slide piece. 0-2. Great pitch by Shirabi. Shirabi, that 2.59 ERA, the big right-hander. Hey, Scott, when you get a chance, will you come up here, please? Monger stands in and waves the bat low in front of Wenrich's fingers. Fastball away, and it's 1-2. Well, this is a big moment in the game, Forrest. If the Pacific's the right base hit could perhaps score Llewellyn as the runner goes, and it's fouled back to the screen. And
Look
we'll
for
do it again.
Sharabi to go back to that slider, Stu. He's had the feel for it this whole inning. He's thrown a couple good ones, threw another good one right there. Had it fouled off. Look for him to go back to that, or maybe even a fastball in the inner half.
Well, Monger, all he did last time was hit a 3-run blast over the left field wall. So it would take some guts to come in on him, but he may do it. Here it is. And he did, and he got him with a high, hard one. So Monger goes down swinging, and the score remains 4-4 as we go now to the top of the 9th inning. It'll be the 3-4-5 batters for the Stompers in Carranza, in Baptista, in Metzger. 4-4 right here on Marin TV's continued coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. Forrest and I will be right back, but for now, we'll send it down to the field to Tressa and Aziz.
اهلا جميعا، انا عزيز اعود اليكم من قناه مارين تي في. ما تزال النتيجه تعادل 4-4. نتمنى لهم الحظ الاوفق. المباراه لا تزال حماسيه بسبب نتيجه تعادل. نتمنى لهم الحظ الاوفق.
Well, the Pacifics had a chance to score with a couple singles, but to no avail. It is still 4-4 in the top of the 9th. It is tied right now, so we could either expect Sonoma to score or the better result, the Pacifics to get a walk-off. I'm thinking the latter. Back to you, Stu.
Well, Forrest, the Pacifics had a golden opportunity, but now we're in the 9th inning, and the advantage goes back to the Sonomas. Top 9, 4-4. And Joel Carranza starts things off with a sky-high pop-up. Here comes Goldstein, and on one pitch, Carranza is down. The pop-up over to 5, 1 away.
You know, that's just a great job locating that fastball in the inner half, getting him out, one pitch, one out. Your first batter out of the bullpen, work quickly, get your guys back to the dish, have an opportunity to win the game in the bottom half of the inning.
Michael Hallback has taken the mound for the San Rafaels. And Forrest will have the line on Hallback in just a moment. Hallback, the big right-hander. To Baptista, and it's 1-0. And after this pitch, Forrest will bring you the line on Hallback. It'll be Baptista followed by Metzger, and a strike, and it's 1-1. Here's Forrest.
Hallback in 32 2/3 innings pitched, has a 2.62 ERA and 43 strikeouts to 25 walks. Not too bad.
And the ERA, you said?
2.62.
How about that? Hallback, a big, tall, right-handed guy. And he wears the old stirrups, but the stretch stirrups. Baptista swings wildly at a fastball, 1-2. Baptista on the night is 3 for 3. He walked back in the third, but he has an RBI, a run scored, and a bunch of singles. Oh, brother. Baptista's not one of those guys that goes down easily. Big left-handed slugger. New school. Pants all the way down to the top, shoe tops. Against the old school Hallback with the hose high and the stretch. And he got him with a high, hard one. Baptista's gone swinging, 2 down. Holy mackerel. What a good time to pull out the high cheese, Forrest.
You know, as a hitter, that looks like such a good pitch, and you just can't get your hands up there in time to get on top of it nor to catch up to it.
That's exactly right. It always looks so good. It looks like you can just pound it out of here, but you can't get up to it. Brennan Metzger now with 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. A 4-4 ball game. See if Holback can't get the Pacifics back into the dugout and a chance to send the fans home happy. Metzger takes strike 1. 2 down in the 9th. Metzger batting .316 is 2 for, check it, 1 for 3 tonight, a run scored and a walk. 0-1 and a fastball across the knees is swung on and missed. 0-2.
Yeah, look for him to go back to that fastball, throw it 3 times, elevate it a little bit, get it at least letter high. It's a good one.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good time to get him with the same pitch that he got Baptista. The high cheese right across the letters. Here's the 0-2. Hall back. He's going to reach back. Oh, a curve ball is away. Big breaking ball, 1-2.
That's a good setup pitch. You throw him 2 fastballs in a row, change the eye level, get the off-speed pitch down towards the dirt, elevate the fastball.
Yeah, and change his sense of how fast the pitch is coming in. This may very well be the high cheese right here. 1-2. And there it is. Got him looking. 1-2-3. Holback gets it done for the San Rafaels. Bottom of the 9th inning, and an opportunity for the Pacifics to turn it up. 1 run sends everybody home happy. Miles Williams, Zach Goldstein, and Juan Herrera will be the batters for the Pacifics in this 4-4 ball game. 8-9 one-hitters on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. And we'll send it down to the field to Taylor Williams.
Thank you. Wow, that was a quick inning, Stu. 1-2-3 inning, and we're heading to the bottom of the 9th. The Pacifics are going to be up, and they're going to try to walk this thing off and send us all home happy. I really hope they do, because I got school early in the morning. Back to you guys.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, we're in the bottom of the 9th inning, and for the Stompers, Logan Gillespie will be taking the mound. Miles Williams will lead things off, and G2 will have the line on Logan Gillespie. Let's start with his ERA.
Well, he has posted a nice ERA of 2.70.
2.70, and the first pitch to Williams is hammered to short. Derek Fox is up with it, 1 away.
Yeah, it's a pretty respectable line. He's only pitched 3.1 innings, or 3 1/3. 2 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them was earned. 5 walks, however, in 3 1/3. And 6 strikeouts. Impressive number there. And he's picked up one win and no losses yet.
All right. Well, it doesn't sound like he's been with the club for very long. So the Pacifics are probably not terribly familiar with him. Here's Zach Goldstein with 1 away. Bottom of the 9th inning, a 4-4 ball game, and a fastball is in the dirt. Blocked by Wenrick. 1 ball on him. Goldstein batting .258, but he's 0 for 3 on the night.
Gillespie looks pretty good out of the gate. It looks like he's got some heat behind that pitch, and these, not having your first at bat against a pitcher like that's always difficult.
Gillespie deals indoors 2-0. Juan Herrera is on deck. The Pacifics need 1 run in this 4-4 ball game. Popped him up. Right side of the infield, Yasuda's there. To his right, though, is Baptista, the first baseman, and he makes the grab, 2 down. 2 away. Juan Herrera with 2 down in the bottom of the 9th against Logan Gillespie, the big right-hander. Tall, lanky guy.
Number 6, Smooth as silk, Juan Herrera.
Herrera's just who you want to have up in this situation. Just try to get anybody on base, and that's what he's good at. Just get a rally started.
Herrera is 1 for 4 on the night. No, 2 for 4 on the night. He was involved in a double play that Rizzatello hit into. And the first pitch to Herrera is taken. 1-0. Demetrius Moore is on deck. He swings at a fastball and had him way off balance. 1-1, G2.
Yeah, Glaspie looks really good out of the gate here, making a good first impression.
A 2-5-2 hitting Herrera stands in, and a breaking ball is not close. 2-1. It popped up and kind of came off of the shin guard of Isaac Wenrick, and Herrera actually reached out and tried to spear it. Once it was dead, indoors, almost got him, but he buckles back, and now it's 3-1. Pacifics will take a base runner right now. Set it up for more.
Any way you can, you just got to get on.
2 for 4 Herrera, takes low, and he walked him. Pacifics fans are loving it. Nothing that says you can't start a rally with 2 down. And that's what the Pacifics would like to do right here.
Well, Herrera...
Demetrius Moore will come up. Although last time Moore was up, he popped up a bunt right into the outstretched glove of Wenrick. And here is a mound visit from everybody, including the manager of the Stompers, Takashi Miyoshi. And he's out there for a really long talk. And now a visit from Dean Boutique, the home plate umpire, to break it up. And now the Stompers break up their meeting, and they're going to leave Gillespie in there. Juan Herrera, the runner at first base. The batter is Demetrius Moore. Moore had a sacrifice back in the first, a strikeout, looking, a fly ball to left, and then a bunt pop out. So Moore is due, more or less, to do something spectacular. He's one of those guys. He can really get something going. Herrera, the runner at first. Rizzatello's on deck, 2 down. Taken low, 1-0.
Well, Herrera at first base, with the speed we've seen from him constantly this year, he has not attempted a stolen base, which is unbelievable to me.
Moore, a 2.69 hitter, standing in. Takes up, and oh no. Looked like it was upstairs to me. It's 1-1, a called strike. And G2, I'm surprised at that call.
Yeah, up around the letters. That's a surprising call there.
Rizzatello is on deck. Moore needs to get on base to keep this thing going. We're in the bottom of the ninth. A breaking ball is taken, 1-2. .21 driven in for Moore. But it'd take a masterful knock right here to somehow get Herrera in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gillespie stands off, and Wenrick wants to talk to him. What a time for a mound visit. Bottom 9, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wenrick just wants to make sure that Gillespie and he are on the same page, sign-wise.
Well, Moore's got to know that Pacifics are not only trying to keep the inning alive, not only the game, but their season.
That's right.
They lose this game, they're out.
Fastball is taken, 2-2. Ooh, good take there by the left fielder, Demetrius Moore. And Moore has not yet hit a home run, but he's driven in a bunch. And of course, once he's on base, well, he's liable to steal all over the place. 2-2, 2 down. Bottom 9, a 4-4 ball game. A throw over to first, and Herrera scurries back to the bag safely.
It's a pretty short lead over there at first base from Herrera.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not sure why Gillespie's so worried about him. Of course, he is the go-ahead run. Curve ball is upstairs, and it's full.
Especially with no stolen base attempts, he's not looking like he's threatening here.
Gillespie, a 2.70 ERA. Out of the stretch, comes home. Runner goes, and he walked him. And that'll put the winning run on second base. And now another mound visit from Takashi Miyoshi, and one has to believe that'll do it. There's a ton of action in the Sonoma bullpen, but 2 trips to the mound in the same half inning, and that'll be the end of it. Miyoshi takes the ball from Gillespie, and we'll have a new pitcher coming in from the bullpen of the Stompers. 2 down, 2 on, bottom 9, and Rizzatello the batter. We'll have the new pitcher when we come back right here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics G2, and I'll be right back. Here's Rizzatello. On the mound for the Stompers is a big, tall guy out of Fresno, and that's Jacob Cox, wears number 24. Rizzatello the batter. First pitch is low for a ball. Here's the line from G2.
Yeah, Cox has had a great year so far. He pitched 34 innings, 2.64 ERA, only 19 walks, and 33 strikeouts.
2.64 to Rizzatello. 2 on, 2 down. Fastball is across the knees and taken, 1-1. Ooh, a controversial strike. And the fans didn't like it. The fans that are left are outspoken. It's an understatement. Jake Taylor's on deck. 290 hitting Michael Rizzatello in the dirt, and it's blocked by Wenrick. Big breaking ball that Cox could not locate. It's 2-1. Well, Logan Gillespie came in, and he got Williams, and he got Goldstein, but then he walked Herrera and walked Moore. And Rizzatello has the winning run in scoring position. Fastball just nailed him in the left shoulder. No, I think it got him in that left elbow, that protective apparatus, and now the bases are loaded. Herrera at third, Moore at second. Rizzatello is the first hit batter of the night. And with the bases loaded, here comes Jake Taylor batting in the 4-hole. Taylor is the guy I would want in this position. Taylor is 3 for 4 on the night. A run scored, an RBI. And if Taylor can get it done right here, the game would be over, and he takes a strike. So Cox starts him off with a fastball across the knees. Jake Taylor with an opportunity to send the fans home happy. Gingras is on deck, 2 down. Bags jammed. The 2-6-4. Cox, fly ball, first base side, and out of play. Well, the big fella is behind in the count, G2. But he's 3 for 4 on the night.
Right, and he's always been so consistent for the Pacifics. He's just got to find a way to get it done here. They've left so many runners stranded in scoring position tonight, and I'd love to see them come home right now.
Taylor with a chance to be the hero. He's been the hero so many times. Cox comes home, curve ball taken, 1-2.
That was a little close to be taken 0-2, don't you think?
Oh, that was very close. I totally agree. It looked really good up here, but it had Taylor frozen either way. Good or bad, he wasn't swinging. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. A 300 batting Taylor, and that number's gone way up tonight. Cox comes home, and he got him with a fastball. Cox gets out of it. Taylor strikes out, swinging. The Pacifics leave 3, G2. That's a monumental ouch. They had a chance to get it done, and they had their best hitter up to do it. Instead, we're going extra innings, everybody. Isaac Wenrick, Yuki Yasuda, and Derek Fox, the 6, 7, 8 batters for the visiting Sonoma Stompers, who are currently in first place in the second half. We'll send it down to the field now to Aziz and Tressa.
اهلا جميعا، انا عزيز اعود اليكم من قناه مارين تي في. المباراه لا تزال في تعادل 4-4. دخلنا في الاشواط الاضافيه. كانت البيسز مليانه عن طريق فريق ذا باسيفيكس. ولكن خسروا فرصة محاولة التسجيل والفوز بأي طريقة ممكنة، ولكن أتمنى لهم الحظ الأوفر في الأشواط الإضافية.
Fans, there's nothing more aggravating than a bases-loaded strikeout. That's what happened in the Pacifics in the third inning, but great attempt by the Pacifics to try to score some runs and load the bases. Hopefully we'll see that valiant effort again in the 10th inning. Back to you, Stu.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 10th inning. That's right. Top of the 10th. And league rules this year, starting in order to avoid games going too deep into the night, puts 2 runners on. So Wenrick, let's see, you have Baptista, the runner at second, you have Metzger, the runner at first, and Wenrick, the batter, here in the top of the 10th. Holback is still on the hill, the big, tall right-hander. Wenrick batting .275 with 2 on here in the 10th, and a fastball is up and away.
Well, Holback's really been the Pacific's best reliever this year, boasting a 2.62 ERA in 37 2/3 innings.
Wenrick ahead the count 1-0. We're in the top of the 10th inning, everybody, in a 4-4 ball game. Pacifics in the 6th came storming back. Breaking ball. Snaps the glove of Gingras nicely, but no call, 2-0. On the evening, Wenrick is 2 for 4 tonight. And the 2 were the last 2 at-bats, for whatever that's worth. Long fly ball, deep right field, backing up Williams at the wall. And it's off the top of the wall. Williams is able to throw it in, turning around first. Wenrick slips. The ball is thrown into home. Gingras is there. He applies the tag to Brennan Metzger. But on the play, Baptista scores.
I believe Baptista was
Wait a
tagged
minute.
out at home.
Baptista was the one who was tagged. So Baptista, everybody had to hold up while the ball was in the air. It looked like it was going to be a home run. And on the play, they're going to move Wenrick back to first base. So it's just a long single. Brennan stopped at third base. Hold on. Now they're going to move him. First, they called him back to first. Now they move him back out to second base, G2. But on the play, everybody had to hold up, and Baptista tried to score from second base. The throw came in to Llewellyn, who heaved it in to Gingras, and Baptista is out at the plate. A perfect toss, and the tag applied by Gingras, and in fact, there's 1 out. So no runs scored. They now allow Wenrick back over to second on the throw-in. So first they called him back. They're going to call it a double off the top of the wall. He just missed a 3-run bomb by inches. No one has scored on the play. Metzger is at third base. There's 1 away. And here's Yuki Yasuda, if I haven't confused everyone. Because at first I thought Baptista had scored, but in fact he was tagged out at home. Yuki Yasuda takes a called strike. Derek Fox is on deck. We're in the top of the 10th inning in a 4-4 ball game. Sonoma threatening in a huge way. And frankly, I'm not sure how the mistake was made by Baptista. Just a comedy of errors on that long fly ball by Wenrick. Curveball is taken. And it's not come up on the board. Now it is 1-1. Yasuda on the night is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. So he's totally due, a .261 hitter. Low and away. A snap throw down to third base, and they got him. Metzger had come off the bag. Gingras with a snap throw down to Goldstein covering. And Metzger gets picked off at third base, 2 away. Are you kidding me? Just incredible. So now with 2 outs, Isaac Wenrick remains at second base. It's 2-1.
Such a heads-up play by Goldstein at third base, being ready to cover, and Gingras snaps that throw down.
And Metzger was just ugly over there. Now Goldstein's got it. Long throw to first. Oh, no, it gets away from Rizzatello. A perfect play from Goldstein at third, and Rizzatello can't hold it. A little bit wide of the bag. But Rizzatello just muffed it away. And on the play, when it looked like Sonoma was doing everything they could to hand this to the Pacifics, Wenrick scores on the play. Yasuda's at first, an error on Rizzatello at first base.
You just have to come off the bag on that play no matter what. Even if you don't get the out there, you have to come off the bag so that run doesn't score from third base.
Derek Fox, the hitter, 1 run in, 2 down. And it's a low fastball taken.
Actually, I believe the runner was on second base now that I think about it. Came all the way around to score because of the error.
No question about it. Wenrick was at second base. Fox takes low, 2-0. Well, after Baptista was thrown out at home after the long fly ball by Wenrick, and then Metzger's picked off at third, you would think the Pacifics had everything going their way. But then an error, just the second error of the evening, allowed Wenrick to score. And now Yasuda stands at first base with Derek Fox at the plate ahead in the count, 3-0. Holdback might be rattled a little bit, G2. There's a fastball poured in, 3-1.
Well, it's just such a crazy inning, that ball off the top of the wall, and Wenrick tripped going around first base, bumping into Rizzatello, and then that play happens. Just all out of whack.
Yeah, he did. He slipped right around, going around on the bag. I think he thought it was out of here, too, because he took the slow trot out of the hitting area. Strike 2 down the middle as Fox was resting the bat on the shoulder the whole way.
Well, in that play, I think Baptista thought I had no chance of going out on second base. He was just looking to tag up all the way, and that's why he got thrown out at home.
Fox stands in, count is full. It's a 5-4 ball game, and he looped it into shallow left. Oh, no, coming in is Moore, and he muffed it. Right out of the heel of his glove, Moore was there. He made the play. It just hit low in his glove, and he dropped it. And they've got to call that an error, G2. It's not up on the board yet, but in a million years they couldn't call that a base hit. Moore was there, and just the shallow looper, and Moore couldn't hold on to it. It hit him in the shallow part of just in the heel of the glove.
And it's too bad for Hallback. He's done a great job. He's done exactly what he needed to do this inning, and just has nothing to show for it.
On the play, Yasuda moves over to third base as he was running all the way. Fox reaches first, an error on Demetrius Moore, although it's not gone up on the board as an error. But I'm calling it an error. I can't imagine that the official score could call it anything but that. Moore was there. It was a shallow pop-up to left. But they've credited a hit to Fox, and why they would do that, I guess you don't want to give the home team another error. Not 2 on consecutive plays, and not both in the 10th. Why in the world? I don't know. Here's Lococo. He's got runners at the corners. All this happening with 2 out, G2.
Well, yeah, that is a tough play out there in left field. Don't get us wrong, but you have to come up with that play in the 10th inning with runners in scoring position. You have to make that play.
Professional left fielder makes that play more than 9 out of 10 times. More like 99 out of 100 times. Lococo stands in, a left-handed batter. Big, tall, lanky guy with runners at the corners. Fox, the runner at first. Yasuda, the runner at third. Fastball is poured in. Lococo takes. Strike one.
Well, Holback trying to refocus and just throw some strikes in there now. He's just got to dial it back and get a ground ball and get out of the inning.
Sixth batter of the 10th. One run is in. 208 hitter. Lococo takes. 1-1. Lococo officially 0 for 3 on the night. A strikeout, a ground out, a pop out, and a walk back in the second. Matt Hibbert's on deck. 2 down. 2 on. It's a 5-4 ball game. Top 10. Lococo. Man, he looks like he is ready to hit. Waggling the bat. A long look from Holback. And it gets away from Gingras, but not far enough that Yasuda could score, although he was about a third of the way down the line. But
Yeah.
Gingras was able to corral it quickly.
Yeah, Yasuda hesitated on that. If he doesn't hesitate, I think he might have a chance to score on that play. That ball was 15 feet away from Ricky Gingras.
You're right. And Yasuda's pretty quick. He's got 12 stolen bases. It was just a matter of the jump. Lococo adjusts the batting gloves. 1 foot out of the hitting area. Now he's ready to go. Dean Boutique says, with a point to Michael Holback, let's play ball. Runners at the corners. No, check it. On that last play, Fox did move over to second base. There's a fastball and taken, and now it's 2-2. Holback's been looking pretty good. He's just gotten 0 support. A couple of errors, although they didn't call that an error. They called it a hit. But Demetrius Moore had it in his glove, and he wasn't diving for it, and it was not undue effort. I just cannot imagine how they call it a base hit, but they do. Lococo, he swings at a big breaking ball,
Yes, sir. One more occasion.
and that'll do it. Well, in the inning, the Stompers get 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. And the Pacifics need 1 to keep it going, and they need 2 to send the fans home happy. It will be the 5, 6, 7 batters in Gingras, Llewellyn, and Monger. And we're in the bottom of the 10th inning. It's 5-4. We'll send it down to the field now. Here's Taylor Williams.
Thanks, Stu. Wow, what an inning. There's a lot going on there. The Stompers score a run on a couple errors from the Pacifics, and this game is going to the bottom of the 10th, and the Pacifics are down 1. Let's see if they can walk this bad boy off. We're all praying. Back to you guys.
Bottom 10, everybody. Rizzatello, the runner at second. Jake Taylor at first. And here's Ricky Gingras. Well, the Stompers scored 1 in the top of the 10th. Pacifics need 1 run to tie it and keep it going. Gingras, the 5-hole hitter, batting .306, is 1 for 4 on the night. He's got a run scored back in the 6th. Jacob Cox comes home. A perfect bunt laid down onto first. The sacrifice complete. And Gingras, a sac bunt, 1 away, but it moves everybody up. And now Rizzatello is at third. Jake Taylor is at second base. And here's Phil Llewellyn.
Perfect bunt there. That's exactly how you want to do it. Just get the runner over. Now you have a runner on third base with only 1 out. And
1 pitch, he squared and dumped it right in front of the plate. And all Wenrick could do was pop up and heave it down to Baptista at first. Llewellyn, 1 for 2 on the night. He had a sac bunt back in the 6th. Check it. He's 2 for 3 on the night.
Well, it seems like just the 7th game for Llewellyn. He's already a fan favorite, don't you think?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's so clutch, and he's just done so much good stuff. Mauger's on deck. Runners at second and third, 1 away. Fouled back to the screen.
It just seems like he's always doing something. He's never not contributing, I guess.
Yeah. 1-1. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, this game is 3.5 hours old. And the Pacifics could do it right here. One base knock away. Oh, Llewellyn. It popped up and hit him, but he was still in the batter's box when it popped off the ground and hit him. It popped up and hit him right in the shoulder. Of course, if he was outside of the batter's box, he'd have been out. A live ball hitting a batter or any player on the offensive side of the ball is out. But Llewellyn was still in the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Very close, though.
That was close. Monger's on deck. Llewellyn batting .360. As G2 said, just 29 at bats. And he chops one first base side and just barely foul. Just missed the first base bag by a couple of feet. And that would have scored them both. Llewellyn could win the game right here with a base knock. He's got Taylor at second, Rizzatello at third. Big high curveball is taken 2-2. It's 5-4. And he's got 2 runners in scoring position, G2. Llewellyn 2-2, here it is. Oh, and he swung at a fastball down around his ankles. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. One down, 2 on. Both just waiting to come in and keep the Pacifics alive for another day. Llewellyn stands in. 2-2. Cox off the top of the plate, and it's full. Well, the batter doesn't have much time, G2, to think about it and process it and decide whether to swing or not.
Right, and we'll see if Llewellyn really has that clutch gene right here.
That's a very good call. Few players have it. So far, he seems like the kind of guy that has had it. Walked him inside. The Pacifics have him loaded with 1 down. Here's Monger. Monger back in the 6th with a towering home run.
Now batting for your Pacifics.
A 3-run blast over the left field wall.
That was a bomb.
Could he have a multi-home run night? Be a nice time to walk us off with a grand slam right here, G2.
Yeah, that home run in the 6th was a no-doubter. As soon as he hit that, he knew it was going into the seats.
Bases loaded, 1 down. Monger swings at a fastball. Cox reached back. 1 strike on him.
Sure, swinging for the home run right there, it seemed.
Monger struck out 3 times tonight, once looking, and a home run. How about that? Feast or famine for Cameron Monger. Miles Williams on deck, 1 down. Pacifics trail by 1 here in the bottom of the 10th. Curveball, that's going to get down in left field. Up with it, Metzger. 1 run is in. Here comes the winning run. He dives. He's safe. Rizzatello scores, and Jake Taylor with a head-first slide. And the Pacifics are all out on the field. And the Pacifics fans are going to get to go home happy. The Pacifics live to see another day. Some clutch base running by Jake Taylor. Monger with a game-winning double to left field to finish the deal. It's 6-5. G2 and I will talk about the player of the game before Taylor Williams has a guest down on the field. For now, I have a feeling who G2's going to go with. For your player of the game, who are you going with, G2?
I think it's got to be pretty obvious. Cameron Monger. Huge, towering home run in the 6th inning. And the walk-off hit to seal it all. 4 RBIs on the night. And he gets a nice cold shower of Gatorade on the walk-off. Great performance.
Yeah, it's hard to argue because he had the home run back in the 6th, and then he wins the game with a looping double to left field. Just some great work And speaking of Monger, and I can't argue with that, Monger is going to join Taylor Williams down on the field right now. Let's send it down there.
All right, we're all tangled up here. I'm here standing with the MVP of the game. How's it feel?
It feels great. You know, we've been working really hard lately, and you know, every time it seems like we come up short one run in these kind of 10th inning crazy situations. So, you know, good to pull one out, and especially in front of the home crowd.
Our play-by-play man, Stuart Horn, he said you were due tonight, and right after that you hit a home run, and then you come in, bottom of the 10th inning, you walk this thing off. I mean, I know the team's not doing great, but it's got to be a sense of personal satisfaction.
Hey!
Look at that. Are you looking?
Is that your first one?
That is my first one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, congrats to you, man.
Thanks, man.
Have a great night. I know
you.
you're going to sleep well off of this.
Really appreciate it.
Good job, Taylor. Nice to see Cameron Monger get the ice shower and the Gatorade all in one night. The Pacifics keep it alive as Monger delivers the walk-off two-bagger to finish things. Well, G2 went with Monger as his player of the game, and I think that's a pretty darn good choice. I'm going to have to go with Jake Taylor for a couple reasons. One, Taylor was 3 for 4 on the night. He had the RBI back in the 6th. The run scored, but 3 singles, and he scored the winning run, a head-first slide into home plate. So Jake Taylor's my guy. Pacifics win it 6-5 in 10 at Albert Park. Our next telecast will be this Friday night when the Pacifics welcome the Pittsburgh Diamonds here. A 7:05 first pitch. We'll have it for you right here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2017 San Rafael Pacifics. For G2 and Taylor Williams and Tressa Furry and Forrest Hunt, Stuart Horn signing off from Albert Park, saying so long and thank you for joining us tonight. The Pacifics win, the Pacifics win, the Pacifics win. We'll see you Friday night, everybody.